Hey, I think we're live. I think so. Hey everybody, it's Steve. Welcome to another Mac84 live stream. Let me know if you could hear me okay. I'm using a different computer because we're on the other side of the basement today. So let me know if the video looks good. Let me know if the audio looks good. I'm just checking some things here. This is not my normal setup, so apologies if anything's going weird here. I'm still fugly. Oh, thanks, Mike. Appreciate it. Oh, I always know I can count on you. Okay, so let me just adjust this here. I know I'm like really close to the camera here. I'm gonna fix that. Hey, Bruce. Hey, Greg. Hey, Super 8 and Link. Hey, Broken JPEG. Hey, Charlie. Hey, LK Computers. And yeah, so yeah, we got a bunch of stuff today. I'm just gonna be doing a bunch of random things. So hope you enjoy it. It's hard to get over to this side of the basement because there's no power and there's no internet. So I spent the last 10 minutes or so trying to remember where I put my Ethernet cables and my long power cables. So if you saw the opposite side of this, you'd see two cables running and draping over the beams of the basement to get over here. So, okay. Spent a few hours today polishing my Indigo iMac. Very nice. It's computers, yes. Lots of computers here. And there's even more computers over there. So we're going to be adjusting this slightly here. So I want to just like talk about some of the stuff here today. And there's some stuff I haven't powered on. Maybe we'll get to power that on. I don't know. Oh boy, we got super chat already. Eep! Hey Greg. Yeah, all right. I'm doing this a little before your premiere. Sorry, but thank you for the super chat. That's very kind of you. Yeah. I don't know what to say, Greg. Sorry about that. But yeah, hi. If you're not subscribed to Greg Ruckay's channel, please do so by clicking on his little icon there and ask forgiveness for me daring to stream at the time where he apparently is having a premiere. So forgiveness, please, Greg. And let me adjust the camera cable, which is caught under the tripod. There we go. And I'm dangerously close to my pet rabbit pens, and I don't want them chewing any dangling webcam cables. I'm as warm back. I have a microphone here, but it's a light bulb. What's the deal with airline food? Huh? No, that's all I got. pretty crummy warm up act. Okay, yeah, so I have some stuff on the floor we're going to be getting to. I just realized I have no place to sit. This is going to be a little challenging, but I don't plan these things out, do I? It's very obvious of that. But yeah, so let me move some of these back where they should be in this box. Don't worry, the image writer printer will not be making an appearance today. We don't need another 3.5 hours of that. Put those manuals away in the box. But got some goodies to show. There's a, what is it, a Power Mac 5200? What does that label say? A Power Mac 5200 75 LC that's been sitting on that bottom shelf. We'll try and see if we can bring that up. We'll see if we could look at that. There are image writers allowed, but only the image writer 2s. Those are happily sitting up here. So those are easier to deal with. So okay, yeah. Let me see if I can get a folding chair, which I can. Excuse me one moment. Of course, I always misplace everything at the last moment. If you guys look over in that direction, see how many horrible things you can see. I'll be right back in 1 second. I have found a chair. I have also hit the lights with the chair. It's probably not a good idea. Get that fancy armchair. No, this is just a folding chair. I don't have anything fancy. Okay, that's much better. Oh, you guys. Yeah, there are some IBM things. See, now I'm too low. There we go. Hey, that works out a bit better. Now, doesn't it? Laptop screen's a little further away, so if I squint looking at the chats, that is why. Okay, cool. So this light bulb is dangerously close to my face, and I'm going to go blind by the end of this, I'm sure. But yeah, we're going to play around with things. We're going to do a bit of maybe a Q&A. I don't know. If you have questions in the chat, feel free to jump in there. And yeah, welcome to the other side of the basement, which is usually not filmed in because of reasons. It's not organized. It's more of a mess than one would anticipate. And there's no electricity really on this side except for the above lights, which are running off the light bulb sockets. So yeah. But on this shelf here, let's focus over here today. Well, if I would loosen the tripod a bit so I could actually do that. There we go. So on this shelf, yes, the rabbits are viciously attacking their food right now. On this shelf here is stuff that I, want to grab, usually at a moment's notice. So I have a Mac Classic here. I have a keyboard for a Mac512K. If I need any cables or accessories, and when I'm usually live streaming, I'll say, wait, hold on, let me get something. I'm usually coming over to this side of the basement. And that's why, I disappear for a few minutes, because I'm like, wait, I just saw a cable here. I'm looking for something. I have boxes of manuals. In fact, I put some of these manuals back in. But these are pretty cool. I think I showed these on an earlier live stream, but some of these are sealed, like Apple Talk, Personal Network, Local Talk User's Guide, stuff that you probably wouldn't find overly entertaining. But invite me over and you'll be able to post your room. You're going to have to stay over for a while, especially if you're going to be quarantined, you might as well get something to do, Charlie. But there's a lot of things here to look at. Yeah, so there's a bunch of stuff here. This is a random, well, here's a 5 1/4 disk drive manual, which is pretty cool. Yeah, so I'm just putting these back in the box where they came out of. I was rummaging through them the other day and did not put them back. Oh, these are really cool. These are technical guides from Apple service support. So you would pay to be part of their, one of their repair program things. If you had a bunch of Macs, if you were an institution or an educational building or something like that, you have all sorts of technical specs and good details. These are, thankfully, most of them are scanned on the Internet Archive. So if you go around looking for them, you will be able to find them pretty easily. I love old Macs. For some reason, a PC from 1995 is $200, but an old Mac from the 90s is like $100. An old Mac from the 90s for $100 is a little overpriced, in my opinion. Yeah, I got a lot of these machines probably in the early 2000s when nobody wanted them. So, yeah, to me, someone posting a Centris or a Quadra for $100, and I'm like, really? Has it been recapped? Does it include a SCSI to SD adapter? Why is the price so high? So yeah, that's just my thought process behind that. Everybody is different. Everybody has a different sense of value and what they think something is worth. I have an abundance of availability to certain things in my area that people may not. So it's just how it happens. So I would imagine the same is true in places like California, where you probably have a very small, dense population of people who either worked at Apple or were super enthusiastic about Apple and have a ton of Apple memorabilia or Apple discs and images and computers and monitors and accessories and parts and prototypes and all this fun stuff. But yeah, there's a good concentration of that in California. Some days I see some posts and I'm like, oh, I wish I was there to pick that up or whatever. But yeah, so random modem that I was just untangling the cord to. Supra Express 288, so that's a 28.8 dial-up modem. It's pretty neat. Has two cables on it actually. Yeah, it's a serial cable, and then that serial cable offshoots to an ADB cable, so you get power. because this has no power cord jack or connector in there. So yeah, we're just gonna put that in this bin over here. But yeah, so we're gonna be looking at some machines today. A lot of the machines on this shelf need work or need recapping or stuff like that. There are a few I want to try to get to. So that Power Mac all-in-one at the bottom of the shelf there, we'll probably be looking at that in a few minutes. I'm just thinking of how I can make room for it because there's a lot of stuff behind me here. I guess what I could do is pick up this box so I have someplace to put my feet as I stub my toes on these lousy Emacs that are here. Mike and I share a special love of our Emacs, don't you, Mike? And yeah, so I'm going to be moving some of this stuff so I can put something here. And while I move it, I guess we'll talk about it a little bit. So let me get myself out of the mess I made here. There we go. So some of this stuff is new or sort of modern-ish. Here's a Blu-ray ROM drive. I think I paid like $50 or $60 for this back in the day. And the rabbits are running around in circles. What are you guys doing? Anyway, yeah, it's my first Blu-ray drive. I was pretty excited about that. I had a PC. This came with the Cyberlink or whatever software, so you could play Blu-rays on the computer. And that was my first experience with Blu-rays. And I didn't even have like a high-def TV. I only had a high-definition monitor for my PC. So yeah, technically it was high def, but I wasn't watching it on TV. I was watching it on like a 20-inch monitor. But yeah, so these are two very cool things I will be unboxing in the future. You can see what those are. This one is a local talk option for an ImageWriter 2, much more reliable ImageWriter 2. And so this allows you to essentially share your ImageWriter 2 without any additional Macs or anything. It just has a local talk, Apple Talk card right on there. This is sealed. It's in beautiful condition. There's a little sticker on there and everything. And similar to that, there's this Apple Local Talk, Apple Talk PC card. And this PC card is meant for Windows machines. I believe this is an ISA card. And this allows that Windows machine to connect to an Apple Talk network. These are a little dusty, but they are sealed. So yeah, I will be able to hopefully unbox these at some point in the future and play around with them, because I do want to do a video that's in-depth on Apple Talk, one of my scripted videos, and these will come in handy. So it'll be really cool to take a look at these things. So, just occurred to me, where am I going to put this stuff? I don't need to clear too big of a space, but my phone keeps buzzing. I did not put this on Do Not Disturb. Oops. Okay. Yep, so here's the bottom of an iMac G4 that Mike gave me. I even labeled it because I'll forget where it came from. And the rest of that iMac is there, actually. It's sitting up there. So I have to play around with that, see if it works. I forget the story you told me behind it, Mike, but I have a Ziploc bag with screws that go with that somehow. So, oh boy. Alright, so let me move some more of this stuff out of the way. Yes, the Classic 2 does look very strange with the 512K or the Plus keyboard there. It's not exactly the aesthetic that originally shipped with that model, so it's a little strange. So now I know the history behind that thing. Greg, what did you do to that poor iMac? What did you do? Why? Why did you do it? That's very, very sad. It's an external SCSI CD-ROM drive, a power user branded one. So, yeah. Power user branded SCSI hard drive, CD drive, hard drive. Where am I going to put this? This is pretty bulky. I'm going to put it right here, because all SCSI devices deserve to sit on top of a Mac Pro. Oh boy. Alright, here's a, this doesn't work. I don't, yeah, this I don't think I've ever gotten to work. I got this fairly recently. It's a PowerBook 3400C. And Yeah, it's pretty nice, cosmetically speaking. The thing just doesn't boot up. So power plug is plugged in, no activity on there. There is a battery. Like I said, it's in fairly good condition. Originally, the guy wanted like 150 or something crazy for it, and I started to talk to him, and he went all the way down to $15. So for $15, it was a bit of a drive, but I don't know, maybe I could get this thing to work. I've never had one before, so maybe there's a trick to it or something, but it might be a bad PRAM battery or something like that. Who knows? But it is in pretty good condition. However, I would not be surprised if something is bad, like if someone tried to put a faulty power cord in there, and actually, the plastic is actually separating from the top and the bottom here. So maybe a screw was taken out, or someone tried to take it apart, or whatever. But yeah, this is a PowerBook 3400C, and a pretty neat design of this thing. Interesting that the sound in and out is on the side instead of being on the back like most models. And it has a VGA out, which is interesting. Ethernet built in, which is nice. A little SCSI adapter on the back. Where is the ADB port? There's no ADB port on this thing. I see a serial connector. Oh, wait. I think... there it is. Hiding in the little door that I'm sure will break off at one point. There's your little ADB connector on the side. I don't know why they decided to stick it there. There's some room maybe on the back, but yep. So if this doesn't work, you'll probably see me tinkering around with this in a later video. I'll put that on top of this little G4 to sit. Let's see here. We got a bunch of discs. I mean a bunch. Let's do a little... Why does my phone keep buzzing even though I did put it on Do Not Disturb? Oh, hold on. I should respond to this text message. Hold on, please. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Yes, there's a lot of discs here. What's cool is, I believe these are pretty fully complete versions of software. Most of them I think I already checked on Macintosh Garden. This top doesn't really stay on. But let's take a look here together. Let's bring the camera a little closer. We got Adobe Photoshop 2.5. How about that? Install disk 1, install disk 2, install disk 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so it looks like it's all the install disks there. SimCity 2000 for Power Macintosh. That's a good one. Behind Photoshop 2.5, we have Photoshop 3 again. On floppies, we have a total of 6 floppies. I don't know if all of them are there. We have Bestware Accounting. I don't know what that is. 2 discs. Conflict Catcher 2. It's hard to live without this one. Let's see. Installation discs for Painter 3. All 6 of them by the looks of it. So that's pretty neat. Fractal Design, Brush Looks, Trees and Leaves. Oh, okay, so these must be like brushes for Photoshop. Let's see if I get a good shot of those. Okay. What else we got? Patterns, so more grains and weaves. Yeah, some more stuff. Paint Academy. We have, oh, that's interesting. We have 2 discs for this program called Paint Academy. And here's the program disc here. But the other disc says FPU upgrade disc. So I guess if you had a math coprocessor there, this was the upgrade disc you needed. That's interesting. Atlas Gallery Effects, Terrazzo? Terrazzo? I don't know what that is. I have to Google some of these. I don't think I actually looked through this to see what was on Macintosh Garden yet. Adobe Premiere, version 4, on 5 floppy disks. I always got to drop something or it's not a live stream. KPT Bryce. Cal's Power Tools. Oh, so Ties power tools. I'm sorry, look like an L there. I always see this advertised in the back of those Mac magazines. 2 discs of that. More of Ties power tools. Disk Express 2. Virtus VR, virtual reality for the desktop. This looks kind of interesting. This might be might be something we work on. Symantec antivirus. Stuff at Deluxe, just copies of discs here. Poser. KPT Convoler. Lynx Pro, so a golfing game. If this is boring to you, I'll stop, but I'm finding it interesting. So, Awesome Blackjack. I love when people make these little labels. Maybe this actually was one that, you know, it was like a shareware thing where you paid and they sent you the disc. But Awesome Blackjack version 1.6 by Brian C. Arnston requires 256 colors, 800K of RAM. So that's a nice little find there. Come on, there we go. So that might be a fun one to archive. I don't know if that's available anywhere. Atlas Fetch. I actually have a copy of this, brand new, sealed in the box. I sent Mike a picture of that while we were messing around the other day. And yeah, so that's pretty neat. What's nice is these seem to have the serial numbers on them too. So I guess if I need to use that, I can. Ray Dream, this may be like a ray tracing program, I don't know, or some type of design. These are all like design programs. There's another one of these VR special gallery collection. Look at that. Super ATM Adobe, Mac Label Pro, Avery. So that's that label company. I need bigger discs. Color It. I have no idea what that is. This is very intriguing. The Black Box. Could be a game, but it's probably not. I have a PowerBook 100. What do you know about the PowerBook 100? I know that it's the first PowerBook. I did not have a PowerBook 100. I had a 140. I currently have a 180. I think I had a 170. Some of them didn't work. They were for parts, and I gave them to friends maybe 15, 20 years ago. But the PowerBook 100 is essentially an improved version of the Macintosh Portable in every single way. So if you look up the specs of that, yeah, exactly what Mike is saying. Basically a downsized portable. Yeah, but not too terrible of a machine. That form factor was pretty groundbreaking. We have Claris FileMaker Pro. Looks like the first version. We have this, and then we have another set. Oh no, so this has dated 1992 on it. This set, this is dated 1994, 1995. So maybe 2 machines there, and a bunch of retrospect floppies. Retrospect install 1 and 2. Okay, so that concludes all the floppies on there, and yeah, there's supposed to be a little pin or something that goes in the side to hold this top on, but and look at that little Apple Computer sticker. That's pretty cool. And oh man, that's cool. Look at this Mac Warehouse little badge there. I guess if you wanted to order something. Oh, come on. You want to focus for me? Yeah, that's close enough. Hey, Alex. Okay, so that's a bunch of floppies. I'm going to put this, just put it on top of the PowerBook. PowerBook probably doesn't work anyway, so it's not going to mark. What's the laptop under the IBM boxes? That is the PowerBook 180 I have. So it's right up here. That is the PowerBook 180. Unfortunately, it has a common issue. It might be the delamination of the screen, or it might be something else, but the corners of the screen get very dark after it's run, only for a few minutes. So unfortunately, that was given to me by a family friend, and basically they needed files off of that onto their new MacBook Pro at the time. So I transferred all the data for them, and afterwards they said, keep the laptop, we don't want it. It might be bad screen caps. Even if it's left off for a while, that discoloration is still on the screen. So it might be something like that delaminization of the screen. Not sure, but I will probably be bringing that out again because one of my first ever live streams was trying to play around with that PowerBook in SCSI disk mode, and my microphone was horrible and all this stuff, so it didn't really work out too well. But yeah. Oh, hey, Philip. Thanks for joining. All right, so we're basically just clearing a little space out here so I can put a Mac on here. We can hopefully turn it on and see what's going on here. Wing Commander 3 for Macintosh. This was my mom's. I think my dad got her the game because she loved some of these folks that were in it. Mark Hamill, etc. You know, they have these FMV video things. I don't know if she ever played it. It looks like the plastic was taken off. The CDs are in here. But yeah, I don't know if it was ever played, but I have the box and everything. So we're hanging on to that one. This is from you, Mike. Not that far. We've been going for a little while here, about 25 minutes or so. Thank you. So yeah, this is from you, Mike. It was just a Sony DVD drive. I don't know if there's anything wrong with it, but I'm putting it in the stuff from Mike pile, which is over here. And yeah, let's see. Oh, these are pretty nasty. These are PowerBook 5300 series batteries. This one obviously has corrosion on it. It's pretty bad. Oh, nice, Mike. Glad to know that works. I'll be using that probably. Yeah, so this is a PowerBook rechargeable battery. It's probably dead and it has some corrosion on it, which is probably not helping. We have another one here. This actually has a little Apple plastic cover on it, so you could. Oh, ooh, ugh, that one's much worse. Ugh, oh boy. It looks like a popsicle. You don't want to lick it though. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. I'm putting this back on here. Yeah, it's I think some of that got in my eye. It's probably not good. If I go blind, you all saw why. I'm putting these to the side so I can dispose of that corrosion on there. Believe it or not, I could probably crack one of those open and replace the cells. But all right, we only need a little more space here, just this area here to put something on. It burns! That's for you, Jay. And the picture went all fuzzy, so it's perfect timing. We have a Goodwill bag filled with random wires. Sony USB cable. Looks like some type of Ethernet to USB terminal cable or something. Yeah, bunch of goodies. I had a PowerBook 145B. It was the worst computer ever. A piece of junk. I sold it. I'm not licking that, Greg. You'd have to pay me a lot more than $2 to even think about licking that thing. Wait a second. Nami, are you the guy who keeps making those very strange comments on my videos? I knew I recognized that username. Because you're speaking in full, nice sentences here, but either you or someone else who has access to your account loves to type some comments on my videos there that are often not very appropriate. So, not trying to shame you or anything, but I recognize that name. This is pretty cool. This is a Apple external hard drive. I think it's a 2 GB one. And it has a little door that comes out for the SCSI ID. I believe this is designed by Lacey. Yes, the defensing driving comments. See, even Bruce remembers here. I don't know, just check your YouTube account and check your comments. I don't know if you have relatives or kids or anything, but if you don't remember making comments, I think somebody is doing so on your behalf. So, yeah. I didn't get too upset about it. Don't worry about it. I'm just mentioning it. Greg wants this drive. Well, it's mine. I'm sorry. Yeah, so this is a pretty neat drive. This has, I think, a 2 gig hard drive in it. And to get this case off, it's quite annoying. There are basically these little plastic slots here, and you just have to be very careful because this thing is plastic and brittle, of course. And so you can take it apart very carefully, and you can service the drive, replace the drive inside. But yeah, so it's a pretty neat model. This little door, I'm trying to do it carefully. What's wrong with defensive driving? What's going on? I don't know, man. Just try and look at your comments. You'll see what we're saying. But yeah, there we go. Did I do it right? Yeah, yeah. So the little door slides up here, and you could change the SCSI ID, which was important to do on SCSI drives. So yeah, so I think so I'll put this in carefully. Okay. I'm actually going to put this in the bin to my right here, so nothing happens to it again. That plastic is pretty brittle these days. This is an interesting relic. Service price pages. So I'm going to give everybody a chance. Name an Apple product or a part from 1995. Name a part or something from an Apple item in 1995. And I'll try and tell you the price. You can do that. Oh, jeez. Well, thank you, Mike. That is very generous of you. And eat. I will not lick it. I will not lick the battery terminals. That is not a good idea. This is not a good idea. No good can come from that. I will not do it. I will not do it. Stop! This is setting a dangerous precedent for anybody who's... People who are tuning in right now have no idea what's going on. They're just seeing the comments that say lick it. This is... Oh, boy. No, thank you. You know what, Mike? What I will do is I will bring them over to your channel. So if you click on Mike's Mac Shack, if you click on his little icon there, Mike has a great YouTube channel. He was just messing around with his prototype iMac G5 computer and putting an SSD in there and having some fun. Subscribe to Mike's channel if you have not done so. We'll wait. And I'll send the battery over to Mike, and Mike can lick it. And if Mike licks it, maybe I'll lick the other battery. We have 2 batteries. Nobody's looking at any batteries here. I'm joking. It's disgusting. Ugh. Get corrosion all over your tongue. Nothing will taste right for a month. Ooh, Mike is doing a super secret project now. Well, you better subscribe to Mike so you can see Mike's Mac Shack and anything that he's working on. But yeah, name a product from either October 1995 or before then, and see what we can see what the prices is. Yeah, what the price was for it. What was it like in 1991? I always look at the PowerBook 100 and think, what the hell did people do with this thing back then? Well, I mean, it was a laptop with a trackpad, I'm sorry, not trackpad, but with a palm rest for your palms and a pointing device, all integrated into a design like that was unheard of. We look at laptops today, there's a keyboard that's pushed further back. You look at PC laptops from that era, the keyboard's right on the edge. There's no palm rest because there was no pointing device. You had this one from Microsoft that hung off the right or the left that was an attachable thing with a thick cable. You know, Apple's PowerBook 100 was a huge step forward for machines. I don't know if it was the first one with a pointing device like that, but yeah, there was no internet. It was a business laptop. You know, if you had to have your word processing programs, your spreadsheets, your documents, you had to be portable. You had to have maybe a fax modem. You know, it was an expensive machine for a reason. Well, look, BBS, and oh, thank you again, Greg. Eep. Those emojis are kind of disturbing, but it was a completely different time. I mean, you look up. Well, let's look up PowerBook 100. Let's see here. Macintosh SE, Macintosh 2. Let's see. PowerBook 150. Do we have a PowerBook 100 in here? PowerBook 140. PowerBook 145. PowerBook 100. Okay. So we have. This is just parts, mind you. It's not the entire price of the system, mind you. But replacement parts. The hard drive, a 40 megabyte SCSI hard drive, would be $180. The motherboard would be $575. It's a lot of money. That would be a lot of money. Oh, thank you, Krishna. That's very, very kind of you. I appreciate you watching. Let's see. The full trackball assembly is $80. Keyboard $76. A 2 megabyte RAM expansion card, $170. Wow. Yeah, that is pricey. That is pricey. Let's see what else we got here that's expensive. The modem, an internal fax data 2400 baud modem, $282. So yeah, this price list is pretty entertaining here. Yeah, I'm not saying these were expensive prices back in the day, but yeah. Power adapter, $54. Bezel assembly. Oh, some of these plastic parts, people would love to have these today. Top cover, $18. Bezel assembly, $12. Hinge assembly right, hinge assembly left. Wait, why is the hinge assembly right $16, but the hinge assembly left is $15? That doesn't make much sense there. Can two local talked 68K Macs connect if one also has Ethernet? Yes. So what you need to do is switch that Macintosh to only connect over AppleTalk for the local talk serial connector, not Ethernet. The machines will be smart enough to just focus on that. If you wanted to share like an Ethernet network to a local talk connection, you can do that, but you can't share the TCP/IP connection, at least not with the method I'm going to tell you. But Apple had what they called a local talk bridge control panel, and essentially what that did is it would bridge the connection on one Mac, so you could connect to a network of printers or file servers or whatever, still over local talk. So, hey Jay, let's see, let me catch up here. BBS, yes. Let's see. How much RAM was for the portable? How much was RAM for the portable? Let's see. We have Macintosh portable right here. Let's see. The 40 megabyte hard drive was $270. 1 megabyte of static RAM. Are you ready for this, Mike? You sitting down? $326. $326. That's a good price there. The modem was $296, and the logic board with this built-in static RAM is $294. But hey, we have the LC630 DOS compatible here. Let's see how much that DOS card was. Let's see. That DOS compatible cable is $28. That's a steal today. The product label ID, $15, a pack of 10. It's not bad. Where's the DOS card? The soundboard for the DOS card alone is $231. The logic board is $750 with external video. And the DOS compatible board is $705. Yeah, stuff was expensive for the portable. So I'm putting this aside just for now. I'm keeping it on the top of this box so we can still reference it. But just continuing our cleanup, I'm going to put a Mac here. We're going to turn it on and eventually get to doing something. Oh, I did not see the supermoon. Is it too late to go out and look? Yes, it is, because I'm streaming now. Looking at it right now. If I go out the basement steps, they'll only be gone for a minute, promise. I think I have that, what's that app? The Night Sky app? Just going to see, no, I don't have it on here anymore. Okay, let's see what we got here. Mac Addict from June 2004, and a little demo of Unreal Tournament 2004 on that disc. Look at that. I don't know what that noise was, but I think someone was having some problems there. But yeah, Unreal Tournament 2004 demo. Good to have. We have a very dusty Apple mousepad, which is, again, very dusty, but not bad. We have my lovely 12-inch PowerBook, which I keep on this shelf because these aluminum models are very easily damaged. So I keep it out of my own reach, so I can't drop anything on it or hurt it. I think this is the 1.33 gigahertz model. Maybe it's the 1.5. I'm not sure. It's one of the later ones. So growing up, well, it was after high school at that point. I had a 12-inch PowerBook 867 megahertz model, and I loved that thing. Unfortunately, I went to a friend's house. I left it in the car. It was the winter time. I got home. The laptop was in the car. I didn't even use the laptop. I don't even know why I brought it with me, but geeky me. I go over someone's house. I bring a laptop. We ended up playing video games or whatever. So I came home, took the laptop out of the car. It was ice cold. Did not even let it come to room temperature. Turned it on, and boom, stopped working. So I'm pretty sure there was condensation or whatever inside the laptop, and it just zapped itself and killed it. So very sad because I love that laptop. I still have the parts for it. Hard drive thankfully still works, so I got my data off of it, but the laptop never did. But this model is superior in almost every way. Much more memory, much faster. The screen has some sort of issue with it, so that's why I sort of got a good price on it. But yeah, it reminds me of my old one. Oh boy, this looks like a board I got to recap. There's a clock battery of it. Oh boy. Let's see what board this is. From 1996. This looks to be... Where's the processor on this thing? Oh, there's a heatsink over it. It has a PCI riser card. Oh, I think this is from a 6400. Yeah, I think this is from a 6400 tower. A Performa 6400. I got one that like kind of works, so I ripped it apart. And I guess this is the board from it. Looks like we have a memory module in there. We have the little PCI 90-degree adapter there, which is very important for wanting to use a PCI card in this thing. We also have a video in card slot. We have a cache slot. We have a COM slot here. This has a lot of ports on it. Hey, Matt, welcome back. All right, so put that over here aside there. And I think we're about cleaned up here, so we could do some damage. Let me let's put this keyboard carefully under here. Along with its little numeric number pad. I love the sound of these things. Don't you just love the sound of those? I don't know about you. These are my faves. Put that safely down here so I could not intentionally harm it in any way. Yeah, so you can see behind here is a bunch of monitors. These shelves are like 40 inches deep, so this is like the size of a small bed. So, yep, get some. Yeah, here, we have a iOmega Zip accessories flyer. Exactly. If you're the one typing, the sound is great, but if someone else is doing that, you want to strangle them. Pretty cool things in here. Greg, you didn't have to do that, but that's very kind of you. Eep! I don't know why you're paying me, but thank you. Could have just said it. I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining at all. Thank you. Thank you very much, Greg. I may tune in for that if I'm done by that. But thank you, Greg. That's very, very kind. So Greg has a premiere coming up at 10 p.m. now. So time to sacrifice some sleep. It's only Tuesday. It's only Tuesday. Here's a PowerBook Intelligent Battery. So who could guess what series of PowerBook this is from? I know exactly what it is because I have plenty of these batteries for these PowerBooks. But, yeah. Jay said he'll be back. If you haven't guessed, we're doing horrible Arnold Schwarzenegger impressions. Yes, the PowerBook 500 series. That is correct. I don't think this battery works, but put it with the rest of the ones not to lick. There you go. There's Greg's shameless self-promotion there. There you go. There you go, Jay. Enjoy your shower. It's Wednesday there. Okay, so you're living in the future, like Bruce is. That's good to know. This is a video card I believe Mike gave me. And I believe this was from his 9600. It's I believe it's one of those. It's an ATI Mac84 PCI video card. There's a copyright date in 1995 on it. So you tried rebuilding old laptop batteries. I want to do that with my clamshell, because the 8-bit guy did a video on that. Didn't look too bad. And I have quite a few clamshell batteries. So yes, ATI Mac card. And this looks like there was either a memory expansion. I think it's too old to have a DVD decoder on there. but it looks like there was a memory expansion slot there, which is pretty cool. So the 9500, that's right. I might have said 9600. Yeah, cool card. I'm going to put it with the bin of your parts, Mike, so I don't get those mixed up. Okay, I think we're about done here. This is a piece of metal. From something. Okay, we're putting that over here. I don't know what that's for. We got a bunch of tapes. Bunch of 40 megabyte, 80 megabyte tapes. These are compatible with an Apple tape backup drive, which I have, and which I will be doing something with at some point. I do have to clean up one of the rollers inside of there because I don't want to put in a brand new tape and have that tape get all messed up. Yes, random piece of metal. And we have a... Oh boy, it's heavy. An old Bell Systems telephone. Hello? No, I'm sorry. Arnold Schwarzenegger doesn't live here anymore. Okay, yeah, so telephone. Very nice. Show us the plastic. There's a lot of plastic here. There's a lot of plastic. Let's put this phone somewhere where I'm not going to break it. There go my knees. I'm an old man. I'm an old man. Yes, he does, you lie. Yeah, I mean, the phone still works. So, okay, cool. So, we have some space here. Let's get creative where we're putting things now. There we go. It's Apple serial cable, HDI 45 to DB15. Very good to have these things there. Very, very good, especially if you had the one series of Macintosh computers that work with these darn things. Yep. Put those up here. And of course, I have a bunch of clamshell laptops right here just hanging out. The top one is my original key lime one I'm very fond of. And this is a cheapo Apple joystick, Apple compatible joystick I should say. As you can tell, it's from the time period where everything had to be translucent and blue. So this is like a Bondi blue. Kind of like trying to, you're like, hey, it's futuristic, it's plastic looking. And I have one that has multiple colors too, which is pretty neat. Hello Dana, welcome to the party. And yeah, I think that's enough room. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to this side of the room and I'm going to grab something from the bottom shelf there. Hopefully I can lift it up and put it on here. So, be right back. Oh boy, this thing is heavy. Oh. Oh. Oh, what am I missing? I'm out of breath. Yes, Bondi. That's what I said. I didn't say Bondi. I said Bondi. Oh boy. Yeah, so here we have Power Macintosh 5200 75LC. I don't know what's worse, this or the eMac. The eMac. Definitely the eMac. This has some plastic parts removed from the back. I do have them. They're scattered somewhere. But, we got this off eBay. My mom ordered it for me and my brother. It was going to be our computer to play around with. And I think it was like $60 or $70. It wasn't bad at all. I think it actually probably included the shipping. Miraculously, it arrived in one piece. So yeah, let's take a look at the back. There is some plastic missing, and the hard drive's just hanging out. How about that? How about that? Yeah, Well, there's a lot of dust in here. I upgraded this thing pretty heavily. This has the AV card, the S-Video and Composite AV card. It has a local talk Ethernet communication card, probably the only comm card I have. And it has the TV tuner card. So this thing has like every port pretty much something in there except this here. Maybe there's something I can put, maybe there's a PCI card slot or something like that. But yeah, this is very dusty. I should not have done that. That's what happens when you have bunnies and hay and stuff. Dust gets everywhere. But yeah, let's move this chair a little bit so we can sit down and we can bring the camera closer. Give you a better look at the butt of this machine here. Yeah, the black one was not sold in the U.S. as far as I'm aware. Maybe it was. I know it was a popular one in Australia. Yeah, so a lot of dust in here on this thing. I have not turned this on in at least 10 years, I would guess. Yeah, so there's quite a bit of cobwebs in here. It's a little yellowed. Not in the best shape, the color-wise, but I'm not seeing any cracked plastic or anything, which is surprising. That's good. I'm gonna take the board out here. There's this little metal handle. Let's hope we don't damage anything. There we go. All right, we have a PRAM battery that has not leaked, thankfully. I don't know about these caps yet, but yeah, ooh, right up my nose, that one. Great. Ah, that's good. Yeah, so we have two memory slots in there. It looks like they're the same, maybe. One might be video memory. No, this is DRAM SIM, okay. And the ROM/L2 cache is here. Here is that TV tuner card, which comes out the back here with these. Well, it's not caked with dust. There's a light speckling of dust there. No, the TV tuner card for the Macintosh TV looks a bit different, and is on a different controller, because this actually looks like, yeah, this is going to the LCPDS slot. So this is actually a longer slot here, but you can put, I believe you could put some of the older LC cards on here. Everyone wants me to lick something today. I'm gonna have to do a live stream with like an ice cream cone, and I mean, I'll lick that. Jeez. Yeah. So, and we have a communication slot. Okay. So, all right. So this is not on the COM slot. I was mistaken. This little port cover is for the COM slot there. I guess there might have been a right angle adapter, or maybe I wouldn't be surprised. Let me get the one from the 6400 here. Wouldn't be surprised if those cutouts were the same. Ooh, you can see the yellow difference there. Oh, where am I here? Yeah, these trays look identical. So I think Apple was just saving money there, and had that bezel, even though it couldn't be used with anything on this model. So below is the 6400 Performa Mac, and the top is this 5200 model. So I wonder if these are interchangeable as far as the motherboards go. I'm not 100% certain on that. I think this one is probably a faster processor by far, but yeah, I mean, this has a date of 94, 95. This is date of 96. So yes, Apple loves to save money. Hey, Brock, what does dust taste like? Bad. That's what I'm going to say. Yeah, so I'm just making sure. Oh, there's quite a bit of dust inside, but yeah. So we're going to slide this board back in carefully, because those are plastic rails. Oh, come on! I hear it creaking. There we go. And this hard drive is just dangling out of here. I don't know why I didn't put it back. Oh, yeah, so this tab here of the hard drive cracked. But that plastic is always brittle, so it does not surprise me. Interesting enough, the TV tuner card is located under the board here. Hold on. Let's take this out again. Yeah, that TV tuner card is there, and it's just hanging out there. How does that plug in there? Okay, there's a little cable that goes into the card. That's here. Let me see if I can show you that. So here's the TV tuner card. You can see in the back there's a cable, and that cable goes into the header, that big slot where where the board connects to. So these are pretty interesting machines. We do have a fan there. That looks pretty dusty. One might say it would even be caked. I don't know who that one person would be. But yeah, we have that's a lot of capacitors. Oh boy, that's a lot of caps there. Oh, this is going to be a fun machine. Yes, I do not have compressed air on this side of the basement, or I would be using the whole pan. All right, let's try and slide this in. All right, and let's just delicately put this hard drive back in. This goes this way. The best we can here. I'm not going to snap it all the way back in there because I think that tray is actually in backwards. Yeah, but we're going to plug it in and try and turn it on because, yeah, I hope this thing still works. I think it did last time I played around with it. In fact, I remember this being used as basically a glorified television because it does have an infrared port there. This was in my parents' house in a room where there was no TV, and I always loved these machines and thought they could be multi-purpose machines, and I'm just looking around for a paper towel, which I do not have inside the basement, but I just use my hands. But yeah, I mean, this, from what I remember, it wasn't a bad machine. It wasn't the fastest, but it is an LC. So they did cut corners with this. Oh boy. Yes, flammable wood. If this wood caught on fire, I'm royally screwed. But yeah. Just like the Yes, Nami. Yes. So I don't know what happened there, but you do have a lot of comments on poopy pants and defensive driving. I don't know if that's necessarily you or someone who has access to your account. It may not be a bad idea to change your password. That's all I'm saying. Yes, if the wood caught on fire, I would have bigger problems than my Mac collection here. But yeah. So this infrared port, I do not believe is an IRDA port. Although they look the same, I believe this is just your standard remote control infrared port that cannot carry any data. However, the PowerBook G3 and the PowerBook G4 models did have variations of infrared data communication, which is IRDA. And the iMac G3, revision A and B of the Bondi Blue models, also had a little infrared window. And I don't have one on the shelf over here, but it would be on the left speaker of the first iMac G3. So, yeah. That's that. So let me get a power plug for this. That thing's heavy. And let me get a keyboard and a mouse, which you would think I would have them on this side of the basement, wouldn't you? I think I brought them all to the other side, did I? How about that? Well, I'm going to look in the bin right next to me here. I might have one, maybe. See some cables, but no keyboard. All right, let me go grab a keyboard for this thing. Oh boy, yeah. I don't know. I like that IRDA port. I don't know why they moved it. It was probably to save costs. Maybe nobody used the darn thing. But Steve Jobs on the demo stage was like, "Oh, you could beam your photos from your digital camera to this." And yeah, Would love to have a digital camera that actually had infrared because I could play around with that, but I've yet to find one. So, yeah, let me go grab a keyboard. I'm going to the other side of the basement, and I'll be right back. Yeah, infrared was good on Palm Pilots. That's probably the only like successful thing I've ever used infrared on. Okay, I have returned with a keyboard and a mouse. Let's move the camera so I can get through here. Hold on a second. And I will need a power cable that hopefully reaches the power strip. Because there we go. He lied. You can see him in the reflection. Defensive driving is very, very important. Okay, so we just need a power cord here. Again, where are all my cords here? Rummaging through boxes, looking for cords. This bag certainly dates itself now, doesn't it? It's when Ask Jeeves rebranded themselves to Ask, and that didn't last long. There's an extension power cord that might help me. Let me just get up and walk 2 feet over here. And there's probably a power cable hanging about. Alright, here's the power cables. I found one. This'll work. Yes, defensive driving in the tri-state area is very, very important. Alright, that cable should be long enough, but we do have this extension cord, which I will be using, so will also help us out. This is also the type of cord that you could plug in your monitor so it is powered off of the back of your Macintosh, but you could also just use them as extension cords. So, alright, so let's get this chair back in position here. Let's plug this into the back of the machine first. Where's the power cord on this thing? Oh, up here. I was like, wait, what? I thought maybe something was missing here for a second. Well, it is, but nothing too important. Place your bets. Who thinks this thing will boot? Because I honestly have no idea. I have not messed with this thing in forever. Yes, Greg, that is exactly what you said, but believe it or not, I knew what this thing was. I have plenty of it. Now I'm all tangled. There we go. Alright, let's plug this into the power strip. Let's hope we don't trip a circuit. Yeah, I mean, this isn't too old. I don't know if the caps need as much attention on these models. I guess we'll find out, won't we? Right, so let's bring the camera here. Let me move my chair slightly away in case this CRT explodes. I don't get the full shrapnel in my face. But, in fact, let me move this box a little bit. There we go. All right, so some people are saying it will work. Some people are saying it will not work. It will trip the circuit breaker. I hope it doesn't, because then the live stream goes bye-bye. Because, yeah. All right, let's see what happens here. All right, so it's a soft power machine. Oh, yeah. That special boot chime. Hard drive's going, CRT just turned on. Got the green LED light there. And it's booting, look at that. How about that? See if the CD drive works? It does, a little dusty. Oh man, I haven't used this thing in years. Cursor works. Let's get a little closer on that. That hard drive is a little chugging away there. Do not turn that on until I finish my defensive driving training. I'm not using any driving simulators on this. It'll be fine. Whoa, good set of speakers on this thing too. All right. Oh wow, I left a note to myself. I love when I do that because I forget. Last booted May 22nd, 2016. How about that? So I must have brought this in from the garage or something, turned it on, it booted up, and I put a little folder on the desktop. That's a very quick little trick there, very easy way for you to remind yourself instead of putting a sticker on the machine or whatever. Of course, if the hard drive dies, then you're kind of screwed there. But yeah, this thing is pretty quick. I said I haven't. I thought I hadn't. I know where we last used the machine was around 2003, 2004, because that room didn't have a TV before then. But I didn't recall booting this thing up, so. Oh boy. Yeah, so it does work. Let's look at the specs of this thing. 40 megabytes of built-in memory. Nice. System 7.6. This thing is zippy. Look at that. Let's see what's on here. There's not much. Connectix Quick Cam. I guess I was trying to get something to work with those quick cams. All of mine have leaked capacitors, which is not good. Got the Mac OS. Important information about desktop printing. Let's see System Profiler per Mike's request. All right, so let's get a bit of a closer look here. If this tripod will cooperate. No, it's not gonna. Well, that's probably the best we could do. So we have a customer care code at the top. This is a Power Macintosh 5200, 5300 series. In reality, it's a 5275 LC. Finder version 7.5.6, System 7.6, PowerPC 603E at 100 megahertz. I thought this was 75 megahertz, but hey, 100 megahertz, even better. That explains why it's so speedy. 40 megabyte of built-in megabytes of built-in onboard memory. Virtual memory is on. Disk cache is on at 96 kilobytes. AppleTalk version 6.0.1.1. Open transport is on. File sharing is on. Macintosh hard drive is a startup device. We have not chosen a printer. Although we can always choose an image writer. No, I won't do that to you guys yet. No. So yeah, this thing is pretty neat. Let's see. Do we have a CD? Well, let's. I've never played Wing Commander ever, but we have the box here. So I have a laser writer somewhere here. Those things are heavy. Oh boy. 1 disc, 2 disc. 4 discs of Wing Commander. This is a lot of discs there. We have a registration card, a reference card rather, and a registration card. Register now, get free stuff. I think this is the only one. Wait, I might have one more. I am thinking about it. Let me stand up for a second and look. Oh, look at that sticker. Accelerated for Power Macintosh. That's for that Wing Commander game. That must have been on the box. Oh, that's really cool. Oh, we have a price tag. Or a date, at least. Ooh, a lot of dust here. I don't think it's price tag, but let me put this box down. I'm just curious. No, I have a list, Mike. I just can't remember off the top of my head. That's why I wrote it down. I wrote it down so I wouldn't have to remember. Let's see. It's over here. Yes, I do. I do have another one. It's, what model is it? Model is a 5400 180. So how about that? It's a 5400 180. So that one has parts taken out of it. At least the CD drive, from what I can see, is taken out. Maybe the floppy drive too. Maybe that's where this board came from. I don't know. I will have to look that up. That'll be for another time. But cool. I don't know where I got that from. I cannot remember. But yeah. Yeah. Let's see what this could do. What is this disc here? Oh, I wanted to back up this disc, but I keep getting an error when it reads. We'll try that in a second. But I do have a more common disc. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Let's just see if it reads. Oh, okay. Kind of froze there. Maybe? Oh, no. Can't read the disc, but I would also maybe chalk that up to dust. We have our huge selection of floppies here. Let me just try one. No one's gonna get upset if this one doesn't work, but it probably needs a good cleaning. The head is probably caked with dust, so I would not be surprised. The disc is also lowering down a little slow, so it probably it'd be greased up a little bit. I remember having a few issues with this machine as a kid. I don't know if I replaced the floppy drive or not, but that will need some attention, but nothing too bad. Thankfully, these use the same floppy drive that the other ones do. So I do have a floppy disk cleaner too, which might be helpful to use one of these days in a machine like that. Let's see if I could find a disk I don't care about to test in the CD drive. Just looking through this bin here. Ooh, that's unfortunate. Math Rabbit got a little cracked. Sorry, Math Rabbit. Well, that's not cracked. It's just a bad scratch. Well, let's see if it'll read. Deluxe Math Rabbit. Sounds like it's spinning up. Oh, hey, look at that. It comes right up. I wonder if I have disk copy on here, because if I do, I'm going to try and copy that disk to the hard drive. Hopefully it's not a big one. How big is this hard drive? 700 megabytes free and 91 megabytes in disk, so it's probably an 800 meg. This is a 30 megabyte CD. Select Math Rabbit. And let's do read only, uncompressed. Just save it to the desktop there. Let's see if that'll actually read the entire CD. I don't know if that's a Macintosh Garden, but if it's not, at least we'll have a copy of it. How about that? Yeah, thankfully, on these models, this front bezel here, yep, there are, let me show you the clips here. Oh, disk operation could not complete. Yeah, that CD is very scratched up. At the bottom here, you can see there are these plastic clips. You basically tug on those to a certain way, and you can remove this whole front bezel here and easily replace or service either the CD-ROM or the floppy drive. So you could do that. Is this the Performa that would beep at you when it was overheating? I don't know, to be honest with you. I have vaguely heard of that. I think my clamshell iBook here, I once left that on a fabric seat, and I was like booting, I think it was macOS 10.1 with 9 or something like that, and it would just keep booting and booting and beeping because, you know, yeah. Heading out for a bit. Hopefully I'll be back before the stream finishes. Okay, Bruce, no worries. Greg's stream starts in a half hour, so I'll try not to go on that long, maybe. Yeah, so bad luck on that disk there. But the CD-ROM drive does at least tentatively work, so that's good. I don't have an Ethernet cord other than the one I'm using to stream, so I can't plug it in here to test the network card, but I'm sure that works. This is a pretty neat machine. I'm going to shut it down. I'm going to try and take the front bezel off. I don't know why I'm pointing, you can't see it. And we could see if we could tempt fate here. But fish around for the power off switch here. There we go. Okay. So let's see if I can show you. There we go. I want to be up all night. Well, we're not having as much of an exciting party here, but I mean, maybe we are. Maybe you're a geek like me and you like this, but yeah. All right, so I'm going to take off my watch before I end up scratching it. So I just got that replaced via Apple Care. I do not want to damage it. All right, so these tabs. Oh, I have a bad feeling about this. Is it pulled towards you? Yes. I have to pull them down. Oh, this, I can feel it being all creaky. Yeah, I kind of don't want to do this. What I will probably do is, at a later point of time, show this on the other one that is just basically a case, because what I would prefer to do, and this is a tip for any of you who are dealing with these Macs with notoriously brittle plastics, what I will do is I'll get one of those rubber automotive, they're sort of like wedges. They're these, about this this wide and about this long, and they're sort of like a doorstop. They're very flat. And what I'll do is I'll put one of those wedges there, and just sort of, this even tilts a little bit, yeah, and just sort of rock it back and forth. I actually featured one of those tools in the iMac video I was doing. So yeah, yeah, these are very. I mean, this is just a hinge here. These are going to snap off if I try and wiggle it, and I know not to do that, so I'm not going to be doing it. I stopped myself. So yeah, but that was a nice surprise. I did not know this one worked. Kind of curious if the other one works, to be honest. Do you want me to try and get the other one, the 5400, or do you want to move on to a totally different Mac? I'll let you guys decide. We can either mess around with the 5400. I have no idea what state it's in, or we have plenty of other computers to choose from here. Do you like Milwaukee power tools from Home Depot or DeWalt? Just asking. I only have experience with a Milwaukee saw that my father has. We had to take down an old deck at their house before they moved, and it ate through everything. It was perfect. I don't have a TAM, Dana, and you know that. Or DeWalt. I've never owned a DeWalt thing. I usually just get like the cheapo thing that'll last me for a while. I don't really have the hugest need for power tools. I have, what is that brand? Ryobi. It's a drill. It's corded. It was like $30. It's fine for it. I'm not a construction guy really. I mean, I built these shelves myself. I had help from my neighbor because they lent me, I think it was a Hitachi brand saw. And I cut all this wood together. This is pretty sturdy. The construction of this, I followed a tutorial. You can't really see that there, but yeah, these are pretty thick 2x4s, and they're about 8 feet wide and 40 inches deep. And you can see they hold a lot of stuff here. These Mac Pros here are stacked 2 back, so there's one behind this one. Yeah, so yeah, I don't have too many power tools, but I do enjoy fixing things and building things. So as you can tell from these shelves here, which is pretty good because before this, all this stuff was sort of, elsewhere. It was in bins or it was in the garage or whatever. So the whole reason I built these shelves, it's behind me, is to house my collection of computers because, yeah. Do you have a Performa 616 CD? I do. I also have a 615 CD and a 6100. So I have I think 3 or 4 of those machines. One was my aunt's that I got. I believe hers was the 615 CD, or maybe it was the 16. Either one of those. I got another one from somebody else that they were just gonna toss out. I got another one from my cousin. It had a bad power supply. He bought a PC right after that because that was his first computer, I believe, and it was a Mac, and the power supply went, and he didn't want it. I think he gave me a monitor too with it. I should recap that power supply because I know where that one is. That'll be a fun project. Yeah. 6200 CD. I don't think I have one of those. Pretty cool. All right, so it sounds like at least 2 people said they want to see the other 5400 up there. Give you guys another second to sway the vote a different way if you want to see a different computer or if you want to see the 5400. I honestly don't know if there's a board in there, so it just may involve me taking something down from the shelf and it just does not do anything. So that would not be surprising. The 16 CD, it's all the way on the other side of the basement. It's on its own desk and everything, and it's hooked right up next to the image writer printer. That's my printing machine. So I'm not going to drag that over, but you know what? There is a machine I want to show you guys. And that's not one of these. Let me stand up here. Let me move this chair. Unplug this power cord here. And let me see where it is first. Hold on. So this side of the shelves are much more organized kind of than this one. Oh, don't worry, Charlie. You'll see it in another stream, I promise you. So, let me see. There are boxes and stuff. System disks. I've showed this on my live stream before, but this never fails to amuse me. Oh, yes, Greg, I know. So let me draw this out to 23 minutes. Just to spite you. No, I'm not that mean. I'll probably go on for just before Greg's stream. How about that? But this is cool. Someone took an old IBM binder and filled it with a bunch of Apple stuff. Fits perfectly, so I can see exactly why they did that. Hey, look, there's a power supply for an LC. That's pretty neat. What does it have to say about it? This would be easy to, not easy, it would be tedious to scan in. Oh, this is just a picture of parts. It doesn't even list the prices. Just a picture of parts. Here's some hard drives. PowerBooks. A 180. PowerBook 520, 540C. PowerBook 5300. PowerBook 1400. Bunch of G3s. PowerBook G4. That's about it. I don't have too many. I mean, that is a lot of PowerBooks, but they're very expensive. I have some PowerBook Duos. I have the Duo Dock. I'm doing a video on those. Yeah, those are pretty neat machines. Let me see if I can find the machine I want to show you. Oh, it's all the way back here. I don't know how I'm going to get to it, but I'll try. Speaking of power books, here's one of the parts power books I got. This is, I believe, the, let's see if the label's still on it. Ooh, geez. That's a 5300 CS. You can see it's strictly a parts machine. Strictly a parts machine. But, yeah, I don't know if this one ever worked. The hard drive has been removed. Yeah, so, but keyboard's in pretty good shape, and the screen is not cracked, so that's good. But that's a parts machine. I'm seeing if I can reach this because it's kind of a ways back here. There's echo. I don't know if this is a good idea, to be honest. Let's see if I could reach it out here. I have a bunch of books and stuff in the way, so I'm just seeing if I can reach it. If not, we'll show it another time. But I got 9600 back here, and what's next to it? Trying to read the model. There's a lot of books back here. Ah. Ow. I'm hitting into things. Shouldn't pop like that. Yeah, it probably should not. Some random drawers filled with stuff. Ooh. Here's a Game Boy printer, but the battery compartment in the back is oh yeah, you want to see some corroded batteries? Look at that. Oh, yeah, that's gonna need to be heavily cleaned. Yeah, the dual docks are nice. They're hard to find, and the power supplies have a notorious capacitor that has a problem. So if you find a dual dock that doesn't work, if you get it for cheap, it might be fixable. So now I'm not licking them. No, I'm walking away. Well, the computer I thought was behind those computers is not behind there. I don't know where it went. But there were two 9600s back there. One's a 9650 workgroup server, which is pretty cool. And the other's just your standard 9600. But why? What did I do? Okay. Yeah. I went to look at my watch and realized I don't have it on. All right, we got a few more minutes here, but let me see if I can show you something. So many things around here. But, oh, I have something. Here we go. Okay, yeah, that was pretty good. This is an Apple Color 1 scanner, 627. This is the lower end model. This is not the higher resolution one. This is a pretty neat scanner. I love the design of this thing, just like the curves on it and everything. It is a SCSI scanner. So you have your larger SCSI connector there, you have your smaller 25-pin SCSI connector there. You do have a little cover here, I believe that was if this model, or if you bought a transparency adapter, there's a little serial port there that would help control that. Whoop. Let's put that back on there before we lose that. And we have the power connector there. So, scuzzy. I believe it does work. I don't have the software on me to test it. We do have this Mac here. How much time we got? We have 15 minutes? I think that's a good attempt. Let's do it. Greg is furiously shouting at his computer. Mike has seen this before. Mike has seen this show before. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, see, I don't know if this needs to be terminated or not. See, that's one question there. I don't have the software for it. Although I do have, hold on, I think I have a CD with the software on it. Hold, please. We'll get a good look at some of the boxes up there. I'll be right back. Okay, I could not find the CD that I was looking for. I have an Apple Legacy CD that unfortunately I cannot find at the moment. Nah. I'd like to try and get it to work, but I mean, yeah. Okay, let's plug it in. Let's try at least. because I do have a cable here. I have a SCSI cable. I don't know if this thing needs to be terminated or not. I'm gonna guess no. I'm gonna guess wrong. Let's see. You guys talking about scanners? Let's see. Nikon film scanner. Nice. I have a SCSI one of those somewhere. Got one in Japan. Pretty cool. Did I break a record? I don't know about that. Yeah, some of these had built-in termination. This has SCSI 1, like 2 I/O ports here. Yeah. Let's check the manual. I think these had auto termination. Let's see if the manual pops up here. Nah, one does not. But yeah, Mike says he thinks they have auto termination. But yeah, there's just a SCSI ID selector there. But let's plug it in here. Let me just without plugging into the computer, let me just plug it into power. See if anything happens. I don't see a termination switch on it. I just see the SCSI ID selector. That's all I see. Let's plug it in. There's an on-off switch. Hey, there it goes. See, I'm going to turn it off and turn it back on again. So it does kind of turn on. So that works. How much PC computers? How many computers do I have? A lot of Macs, over 100 Macs. I don't have nearly as many PCs. I'm not a PC person. I have some old ones, and I have some new ones, but I don't have a lot of them. So, all right, the scanner works. It's pretty cool. I'd like to test the scanner, but I'd also like to print from the scanner too. And since I don't have a printer nearby, I'm not going to be doing that right now. If you have multiple scanners, you definitely aren't using a Color One Scanner 600. That's for sure. Yeah, these weren't exactly the best of the best there. These were the 600 especially was the low end one, I believe. They actually did have a monochrome one also, yeah. So what would be fun? I think fun being, in my opinion, there. I think it might be fun to scan in something and then print out something. But yeah. These were meant for homes and schools. They were. I mean, think of it back in the day. This is what's the date on this thing? Does not have a date. I'm going to say this is what 95, 96. Back in the day, I mean, a scanner was wasn't probably that common in your home. No, there were earlier ones that were earlier than this, but I mean, this is probably just an Apple rebranded scanner. They took a Canon one or a Fuji one or something. They just stuck their own label on it. They probably put a SCSI controller in it and called it a day. This was how Apple would make money back in the day, especially with their printers. They would do the same thing, but printed out in the Game Boy printer. There are a few adapters for the Game Boy printer for the Game Boy system to actually plug into other things that are kind of like the Game Boy printer, which is pretty neat. I was looking at some of those the other day. Looks like an early Epson, very useful. Got a later Epson for 99, has SCSI and USB 1. That's interesting. I have an Epson Perfection scanner. Actually has FireWire 400 on it, which is interesting because USB 1 was common, and Apple was so slow to adopt USB 2 in some of their machines that FireWire was much faster. So it was pretty interesting that Epson put a FireWire port on the back of it. But 1995, okay, we were pretty close on that. But yeah, this always intrigued me. I'm assuming this is just a fancy way of writing art. I'm guessing this was like in their art department, wherever. But yeah, so pretty neat scanner. We have an A4 scanning, letter-sized A4 scanning sized glass there, which is nice, and it has a property of some school sticker on the back. But okay, Greg. Okay, Greg. We get the point here. So this is an Apple Color One scanner, 627. That's the model of this. Greg, just for that, I might just have to, plug the SCSI cable back in. We might just have to try out the scanner and get a printer involved. Oh, boy. Yeah, I wonder, they probably named it a 600 to make it sound better than it was. But yeah, it's a 300 DPI. All right. Much to Greg's dismay, you should totally leave those comments on Greg's channel. Oh, wow, he's getting some. There's some shade being thrown on Greg right now. Don't you have a pizza to burn? Wow. Well, I'm glad I'm not saying it. I'm not saying I condone this kind of behavior. I'm certainly not the one saying it right now. Oh boy! All right, who? Let's have a vote here. So we can either try and get this scanner working, or we can be polite and we can let Greg do his premiere of his video, without competition or whatever. Now let's be honest, Greg has a lot more subscribers than I do, but probably a lot of you are also subscribed to his channel. So. Oh boy. Callium says, get it working. Okay. That's one vote to get it working. Greg is laughing, but I'm sure my phone is blowing up with angry emojis from him right now. 11 waiting. Okay. Well, I got 21 here now. How about that? Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Make a video that isn't a stream. I could do that. I could go and work on a video. Not get a lot of votes here, so we may wrap it up. I'm not seeing a strong contention to keep messing with this thing. But like I said, I think it would be fun to try and scan in something and then print something, like sort of like an Apple ecosystem of a Performa era type thing. I think that might be fun. Oh boy. Oh boy. Eep. Well, Mike just gave me $5 and he wants me to try the scanner. And Philip says go on, and Callium says go on. And Greg says clone video. But Greg has been saying clone video for the past few years now. Oh, boy. Hey, Greg, how long is your video there? You want to put it in the chat? How long is your video? Your video is not 2 years long. I know that. How long is the video you're premiering? 50 minutes! 50 minutes. If it was a half hour, I was about to say, all right, I'm going to take a break, come back here in a half hour, but that's a long time, Greg. That's a long time. I'm going to be asleep by then. Well, how about this? Where's Greg's clone video? My goodness. I swear, I'm not telling these individuals to, they're doing their own things. All right, so with all due respect, Greg, I'm very curious to try and mess with this scanner. You come back in an hour. Yes, but probably a lot of others will. And I have to go to bed soon. I have to wake up early in the morning. I'm kind of curious just to mess around with this scanner. Sorry, kind of curious to keep playing with it. It's very fun looking. I'm sure this Mac will play with it perfectly. And it will not turn into another 3.5-hour video. Oh boy. All right, well, how about this? I'm going to go look for the CD that I need to find for this scanner. Greg has to go, so if you want to watch Greg's, I was about to say scream. If you want to try and watch Greg stream, wow, you go ahead and do that. Sorry, Philip, if you have to go, you have to go. Nice to have you by. Make up your mind. All right, so I'm going to continue messing around with this for a bit. If you would like to go watch Grudy's premiere of his video, please go ahead and do that. But I'm going to see if we get the SCSI scanner working, and we're going to continue. So feel free to do what you like. I know some of you have to go to bed. It's a little late, but I'm kind of curious here. So yeah, so I will be back in about, like, let's say 5 minutes. Everyone take a nice little break. I'm just curious if we could get this working. I think I have a CD with the drivers on it. We won't be here much longer. Famous last words. Yeah. Oh, Alex said he could watch both. Well, you could mute me. You could just look at my facial expressions here, and you could watch Greg's video there. But, all right, I'm gonna put this scanner here. I'm gonna rest it on its side here. I'm gonna put up a little message here on OBS so people know that I have not abandoned them. And there we go. Not looking for a cable, I'm looking for a CD, but same thing. If nothing else, you can connect it and see if it pops up on System Profile. I can do that. We can do that. So I have this Apple Legacy CD that has like all the drivers and software for the systems. I want to see if I could just get that. I have, like, whenever I need it, I burn a copy, so I have a few of them. So I'll be going to get that. There's still over a dozen of you here, so thank you for sticking by. What I will do is go grab that. I'll be back in a few minutes. Feel free to go take a coffee break or a bio break, and I'll be back in a minute here. Let me see if I can find that CD. Okay, I have returned. Squeezed by the very narrow path I have here. Sorry about that. Still a bunch of you here. Awesome. Okay, let me catch up on the comments here. Sorry about that delay. What I actually ended up doing was just putting a blank CD in my Mac Pro. So in 2 minutes or so, that CD should be burned. So I should be able to use that. Let me catch up on our chat here. What are you guys talking about? Let's see. Oh boy. Wow, you guys are roasting them. Oh boy. Uh, Yes, we use tripods around here. Yeah, some machines are worth money. Some. I mean, look, it's all your preference. You're the buyer. If it's worth $100 to you, it may be worth $100 to you. For example, that key lime iBook I have. Some people want stupid amount of money for it. To me, I have one, so I don't really want one. So it could be up to the color, the preference, the model, the size, whatever. It's all your own preference. Yeah, the Mac Classic, isn't worth $100 in my mind. The Classic 2, I have one of those. Again, it's slightly upgraded. The PowerBook Duos are interesting. I would probably be interested in collecting more of those. But the prices for some of these machines are they're ridiculous right now. They're absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, the Duo 2300C, that's one that's a little hard to find. So if you have one, hang on to it. Yes, the only PowerPC Duo. I mean, look, I started collecting these machines long before I had a job. And if you don't have a job, you don't have any money. So through saving up from like birthdays or Christmases or whatever money I had, I used the cash in my pocket to buy some of these machines. That tells you how cheap these things were back in the early 2000s, because nobody wanted old Macs then. Nobody. The stuff was slow. Especially the late 90s, early 2000s, everyone thought Apple was done for. Um, yes, that particular individual, Dana, no good deals to be found there. I will just say that. But yeah, like this was $60, I think. Here's a Classic 2. So this is a Macintosh Classic 2. Let's see, I got a Quadra 840 AV. I got that for $5 in the early 2000s. Nobody wanted this stuff. Nobody wanted this stuff. Now, I think it's two things, okay? I think there are two things going on here. The first thing is you can post whatever you want on eBay and ask whatever price is for. That's fine. If I want to sell something for $1,000 and it's only worth $10, I have every right to do so. No one may buy it, but I could ask for that. However, you get people that maybe they have that kind of money, or you get people that to them, they're like, you know what? I want to spend that because money is no object to me, and I just want that object. I just want it. So you'll see someone post like a Mac Classic or a Macintosh SE, and they'll maybe ask a crazy amount of money for it. To me personally, if a Macintosh SE is over $100, it better be an SE30. It better be recapped, and it better be in very nice cosmetic working condition. I paid $50 for a Macintosh SE, floppy disk, high density model that had a hard drive, but the screen was terribly burned in, had a network card. I still paid $50 for it. I was still a little on that price. To me, I would have been more satisfied paying $30 or $40 for it. Again, not a huge price difference, but again, that's to me what I'm thinking about, because I'm like, it has some problems here. I'm going to have to put some work into it. I'm going to have to swap the screen or whatever. So Nami says, my PowerBook 145B sold for $230. See, I would not expect that, but again, I'm going by looking at these machines. I used to see them everywhere, and they were so cheap. But again, someone may pay for that, you know. Exactly. See, Dana got a Quadra 840 AV for $50 10 years ago. That would be a steal today because people go crazy over those machines for one reason or another. I know they're pretty quick machines. I know they're pretty neat, but to me, I'm not going to spend hundreds of dollars on a machine like that. To me, it's not worth it. Even though my currently doesn't work, I don't have the money to spend on that, and I don't want to spend the money on that. So yeah. I think it's just so. I was getting back to just saying, there are two things I think that are causing these high prices. One is people who ask a high amount for it, and then it sells on eBay. And then you have somebody who has no idea what the machine is or what they have, and they look on eBay first to see how much something's worth. They look at maybe the sold listings. They see one sold for a crazy amount of price. They set theirs for that price or higher. They may not know the specs of their device. They may not know that it's the same one, maybe a different one, maybe broken. They may not have the cords to test it. That's another thing. You see a lot these days that somebody will say, oh, it's untested, but I want $1,000 for it. Or it's untested, I want $500 for it. I know what I have. I'm not going to budge on the price. And it's like, I don't know, man. There's a lot of people out there that may go for that. I'm not one of them. I've been burned before. Yes, on MacYak we call it the eBay effect. People, look, you're welcome to sell it for whatever price you want. Just don't expect people to go crazy over it. There's a guy locally that has Macintosh SE. It's not even a high-density model. It's not a SE30. It's just your standard Mac SE. Has a hard drive in it. That's the only thing special about it. The guy wants $200 for it. And at this point in time, I didn't have an SE that was besides the Clown Car SE. So I messaged him, and I said, look, the price that you saw on eBay, he admitted he looked at eBay to see what the prices were. I said, the price you saw on eBay was probably for a Macintosh SE30. You do not have a Macintosh SE30. I offered to go over, turn it on, test it out, give him some discs for it, and, test it. Just not give him the discs, but, test the machine, make sure it worked, whatever. Because he has no idea about it. He turned it on, he saw the question mark, and that was it. $425 for a Mac Classic, and that's a hard pass. So I started talking to the guy, and I'm like, look, in this condition, right off the bat, I'd be comfortable spending anywhere from $30 to $40 for the machine. Of course, he didn't respond to my message. So about a month or two later, he still has this thing posted today. I message him again, and I say, hey, have you sold that Mac yet? I'm kind of curious. Again, here's my offer. And he's like, no, some guy wanted to come over and mess around with it. I don't have time for that. I just want it gone. And I'm thinking to myself, first off, that guy was me. He didn't realize he was talking to me again, even though the chat history is right there. Second of all, if he wanted it gone, which he posted it at beginning of the year, yeah, it's not gone. And look, I looked at the guy's Facebook post. It's probably like an antique person. He has a store or whatever. He just buys stuff and he's trying to sell it. So I understand it's probably sitting there, but yeah, I'm not buying that if he's not budging on the price. And I don't need another one really. So hey Dan, welcome to the party. So yeah, so I'm waiting for a CD to burn. It's probably burned already. So let me stand up and go get that CD. I'll be back in like 60 seconds. Don't time me because I'm not gonna run fast and trip over and fall on something here. So I'll be right back. Let me go grab that CD. Okay, we have our CD. It's squeezed by the desk here. I'm going to fall one of these days just walking past that. There's a support beam for the house and about 6 inches to the left of the laptop, so I'm like squeezing by the desk every time to get through. But we have our burned CD of our Apple software. So we should be able to, let's hope this thing reads a burned CD. And we should be able to get some software on this thing. So I'm not going to plug in the scanner yet. But I will plug the machine back in, and we'll see if it'll read the CD, if we can install the software on it. Then we'll plug in the scanner. How about that? Sound good? Sounds good. Okay, cool. I love that startup chime. That's a good startup chime. So for those of you who missed the beginning of this, it's a Mac84 75LC, 100 megahertz 603E processor, not bad. I split him right down the middle. He has a lot more subscribers than I do, so I was not expecting that. And Alex is watching both. See, you have multiple screens here, you have multiple devices. And he's probably, Greg, you're probably bad-mouthing me. I'm sorry. I need to see if this works. You know this sickness all too well. Let's tilt this down a little bit. Oh, this is heavy. We're shaking the entire shelf there for a second. Hopefully this CD will read. Where's the Macintosh TV? This is kind of like the Macintosh TV. It does have a TV tuner port in it. And it does have the composite and S-video inputs. But it's a PowerPC and it's much, much, much faster and does not have an 8 megabyte RAM limit. And look at that, it's reading the CD perfectly. Awesome. Well, the Macintosh TV was actually based on the Performa 500 series. So this is the later models. This is the Power Macintosh series. Now, there was a black one of this, the Director's Edition, that is very similar to this one. But no, this is a much later model than the Macintosh TV would have been. And I got a splinter right there. Ow. Let's take that out. That's a pointy one. All right, so let's see if we can get the camera closer to the screen here, so we could look at the we could look at the screen as Dana is just yelling for blood here. All right, so that's all right for now. So let's see. Would it be under peripherals? So this Apple Legacy CD has a bunch of software here. I see scanners here. Apple Scanner 2.0. One scanner? That might be it. Let's do a net install. Lick the blood. Oh my goodness. Okay, those disk images mounted successfully. Now let's see if we can tilt this so you guys can see that a little bit better. There's still going to be some glare on this no matter what. But, welcome to the Apple Scanner Installer. To run your Apple Color One scanner or Apple Scanner, you need certain software. Okay. All right. So this installs the scanner driver, HyperScan, and Color Sync. All right. Installing pretty quickly. Oh, Photo. All right, that's a name I haven't heard in a long, long time. I would want to run this installer on a slower computer because It's taking its sweet time decompressing that file. Yeah. Lick the cheese plastics. No. Well, that's how this installer fit on 2 floppies. They just compress the heck out of everything. Which is good because not every Macintosh at the time had a CD drive. All right, this wants me to restart. I don't want to do that because I want to plug in my scanner. Let me see if I can force quit this here. Yes, I can. And this will allow me to shut down the machine. And then I'll be able to plug in the scanner and I'll be able to start it up. So let's shut this down. All right, so let me first get another power cable for this scanner because I realize I only have the one here. And is this one right here? Yes, it is. This power supply is for an old Dell LCD that doesn't really work, so we always put that cord back when we're done. All right, so we got the power cord. I'm not plugging anything scuzzy into the computer while it's running. Are you insane? I've always been told that you should not do that. But maybe the scanners are a bit different? I don't know. Either way, I have to turn this behemoth around and plug it in. So, all right, let's move this keyboard and mouse so we don't have those come crashing down on us. And get our SCSI cable here. Dude, you're getting a Dell. All right. Now, the trick is going to be if we have enough room to put the scanner next to the computer here. Let's try it. Do you have any yo-yo chargers? Yeah, I have like 2 or 3 of them. I prefer to use the PowerBook G3 series chargers because they're much more reliable. I mean, look, the yo-yo chargers will work fine if you don't bend the cables, but in this day and age, most of the ones you come across are very bended. Have been bended. How about that? All right, so let's plug in our SCSI cable, which is very short, but it just reaches there. All right. Okay, and this power cable will just fit. I think it'll just reach. Have you ever gone to a Starbucks with an iBook? Yes, actually. Or it was a coffee shop. I don't know if it was a Starbucks, but okay. All right, so let's adjust our view here. So we have our scanner here. Let me turn this on. And it's a little happy noise there. And get ready for the coolest startup chime ever. Ah, there we go. This screen is collecting all sorts of hair and dust on it. But our scanner is plugged in. Let's see, I had a little booklet here that I was showing you guys before. Where did I put that? Well, we could scan in a floppy disk. That's one thing we could scan in. So here's new and improved stupid Mac tricks. If you have this floppy, let me know. I can't seem to read the data off of this one. It was included in a book. All the books I've seen on eBay don't have this disc, but if you have this disc, new and improved stupid Mac tricks by Bob Levitas. I actually tracked him down on Twitter. sent him a picture of this, and he laughed about it. But my book was signed by him, which is why I tweeted at him. I got it at a yard sale years ago. Actually, no, not a yard sale. The Trent Computer Fest a few years ago. But all right, so I'm going to put the disk on the flatbed of the scanner there, and let's see if this scanner is recognized here. One scanner folder. Okay. I did not mean to click on that. It's opening up the README. Thank you. I think it's a pretty neat little Mac. So this requires system 7.0.1 and tune-up 1.1.1 installed. Well, we are okay, I believe. So let's open up OPhoto. I believe that's a scanning software. Your expert operator for your desktop scanner. Okay. Ah, could not detect scanner. You will be able to perform scanning operations. Alright, well, maybe we're set to the wrong scanner, I think. Alright, yes, I did not select a printer. I'm aware of this. Stop reminding me. I go to Apple System Profile. Let's see if it tells me if there's anything on the SCSI bus here. Device information. SCSI bus. Oh, it does see the scanner. It actually identifies it as a Canon scanner. Look at that. It identifies that as a Canon scanner. Well, that's because Apple probably used a Canon scanner engine inside of it. But okay. So this is weird. This detects a scanner, but the software does not. Put the camera back on the tripod here. Let's raise this up a little bit. So that's a little bit of an interesting conundrum. Yes, like Mike is saying, it probably is a Canon scanner. Now, I don't know why this would pretend it couldn't say it couldn't see the scanner when. Let's see if there's any options here. I mean, well, let's try and quit this, I guess. Let's open that README. Let's see, installation, 10 megabytes of hard disk space, we got it. 6 megs of RAM, we got it. CMYK file formats, corrections to the manual. Bunch of hints, estimated sizes of files, calibrating, color sync, all this stuff. All right, so that's weird. Hyperscan. What is Hyperscan? The document cannot be opened because the application. Okay. Hyperscan is a HyperCard program or stack that scans in images. Oh, okay. Oh, that makes sense now, doesn't it? Let me see if there's a different version of the scanner software. Go to Preferences. Okay, I will try that in a second, Mike. I'm just curious. Yeah, this is one scanner two. What's one scanner dispatcher? What the heck is this? Let's see. It sounds like it might. Maybe it's like a network sharing thing or something. I'm just curious. I'm not going to probably install it, but I have to double click on it just to see what's in the images. Let's see. Right, let me quit it. I want to read what this is. I have no idea. Cannot open it because it's and of course it It unmounted all the discs when I hit quit. So I have to open up the first one again. Should have done that in the first place, shouldn't I? So you're playing with one outdated piece of technology while you look at another. That's exactly what I did. All right, what is this? I have no idea what this dispatcher is. I have no idea. Anyone? Does this ring a bell for anybody? All right, Charlie. Have a good night. Thanks. Oh, I guess I can install it. Oh, it would help if I had the other disc mounted. Yeah, I have no clue what it is either. Got a little Clarice the dog cow there. Move. It'd be helpful in their readmes if they told you what the heck it is, but I guess not. I don't think I've ever really used this scanner, so we will see. Yeah, me too, Dan. I really hope this is not a repeat of that printer. I mean, if I install the software, I swap a cable and it doesn't work, the SCSI bus is actually detecting something's there, but the software isn't, then I'm going to call it a night. I'm not going to drag this on. I promise. That was a weekend type stream that I could go on and on. I can't do that tonight. Alright, so we're almost done installing this software by the looks of it. And it's taking its sweet time. Does it show up in the chooser? That's a very good question, Mike. I will check that. See, I haven't used SCSI scanners in such a long time, especially an Apple one. I don't think I've ever really used this, like I was saying, that I'm not aware if they were showing up in the chooser or not. That would make sense, though, I guess. I've only used the chooser for printers, but I've messed with a UMax scanner. I still have one somewhere, I think. I think I have a SCSI UMax scanner. That was my dad's old one. It was a SCSI one. But I never messed with an Apple one, so we'll see. This is uncharted territory, but I am excited. We got our little Power Mac here and our scanner. But it showing up on that SCSI bus is a very good sign. Now again, there are two SCSI ports here, so I don't know, maybe it's not terminated correctly, maybe it needs another SCSI cable. That's fine, I have SCSI cables here, we could test them. While this boots up, I'm just going to use my phone to look up, see if there's a manual for this. I didn't see one. Because that would tell me which SCSI port to use. Beep. The last Apple scanner was the 1230 model, which sales ended up in 1997. How about that? All right, so let's go to chooser first. Let's see if there's anything there. On my Performa 6200 CD, it displays as a Power Macintosh. I don't know why. That's because the Performas were just rebranded machines. So it could very well just been a Power Macintosh that the machine was aware of. Let's see. All right, I don't see any scanners here, so this looks like it's strictly for printers. But that's a good guess anyway. Let's look at the software. So we have the one scanner folder, which was what we had previously. Now we have the Apple Color One scanner. So maybe this is, yeah, this scanner dispatcher is different scanning software. So this might be what we need here. Yeah, I never, yep, that looks like this scanner. And look at that interface. Hey, Stephen, I read your email, Stephen. Thank you for the very kind message. I just did not get a chance to respond yet, but I did see it, so thank you very much. Yes, I did not think the scanner, well, I'm honestly, I never played around with an Apple scanner. I didn't expect it to be in the chooser, so. But okay, we got some options here. Scan router, image edit, and archive. All right, let's go to scan here. Let's see if it works. Go to preview. Let's see if the scanner makes any noise. Oh, there it goes. Yes! It works. It works. Look at that. Look at that. That's amazing. All right, let's scan this in. Let's see how well this looks here. All right, I was hoping this thing would work because it was pretty good condition. I got this years ago, but all right, let's select the image here. Let's set this to a respectable 150 dpi. We're going to keep it at inches. It's going to be color. Oh, we have some destinations here. So, oh, Jet Set Radio. That's a fun game. We have some destinations here, including an image writer too. I guess it's matching like the color profile. But yeah, I just need the right software. How about that? Not bad. All right, so let's hit scan. So this is at 150 dpi. Let's see how long this takes. Whoa! That was pretty darn quick. That was pretty darn quick. Welcome back, Nami. Hope you're feeling all right. That was pretty quick. Okay, resolution could be very much improved here. Let's quit this. No, we don't want to quit, actually. I just want to close the image. And let's scan something new. Let's do, so it's 75, is that PPI or DPI? I'm assuming it's DPI, but what do I know? So the trick is if you hold down Option in the README, it'll stop doing the preview. Well, it said it did, but there it goes. Well, maybe it completed anyway. Anyway, let's scan this in at, let's say, 300 dpi. So I'm going to select this box here. I'm going to crop it up as best I can. And I'm guessing this is DPI, but we'll just see. And let's hit scan. You hear that hard drive whirling. Ooh, there we go. That is an image there. Let's. I have to move these out of the way to get to the scroll bars because I'm surprised this monitor is not really flickering that much. Oh my goodness. Let's zoom out here. That's a pretty good image, I'd say. We could zoom into the copyright date here of 1995, and that is very legible. That is not bad at all, I would say. Let's save this. Save as. So we're going to save this. Let's save it as a TIFF. We have option of JPEG, Photoshop, TIFF, EPS. Let's save this as a TIFF, and we're going to say floppy image. Down there, our desktop here. Save it. Yeah, not bad for an old scanner, really. We're going to save it as uncompressed. Let's see how big this file is. Feel free to place your bets, folks. Let's see, is it 5 megs, 10 megs, 20 megs, 30 megs, 40 megs, 50 megs? Yeah, I don't know what type of screen this is. It's pretty nice, though. Let's see what resolution we could drive on this thing. Oh, we're only at 256 colors. Let's bump that up to thousands. Let's look at the resolution here. We're at 640 by 480. Oh, wow. Let's go to 800 by 600 at least. There, that gives us much more resolution there. So that's not bad. Although it's a little smaller for you guys to see things on camera. So, and it can only drive at 256 colors at that resolution because it's probably the video memory I have here. So I'm actually going to go back to 640 by 480. And then we're able to drive thousands of colors. And the flicker is virtually gone, which is nice. Okay, so I'm going to get info on this image here. I'm going to guess it's, I'm going to guess it's like a under 10 megabytes. Let's see. 4.3 megabytes. That's not too bad, actually. Wow. So, Dan, you were very, very close at 3 megabytes. You were closest without going over. Oh boy! All right, let's scan something else here because now this is exciting now. So let's take this floppy out and let's see. Oh, here's that iOmega booklet that I want to take a look at. So let's exactly, Mike. Well, let's take a look at this. What can we scan in from here? There are these weird ads in here about the Jazz drive. Yeah, let's scan in this little booklet here. Scan my face. My dad did that with a photocopier once. The results were funny. All right, let's scan this. We'll do a preview again. That's a pretty quick preview. You know, it's not as fast as modern day scanners, but it's pretty quick. So I'm going to select this. You know, there's a white border around this thing, but I'm going to select that anyway. We'll scan this in at 300 dpi. Why not? And yeah, let's click scan. Have any of you used an Apple scanner like this before, or a SCSI scanner at all? Yeah, scanners are very fun. Mess around with stuff, archiving stuff. They can be very, very useful. So our thumbnail of the video was quite misleading. I showed some iMacs and yeah, I'm sorry. I keep saying DPI. It's burned into my brain that way. No offense is intended, I assure you. I just can't remember things. Ah, you have an old Apple scanner you got to test soon. That's cool. Yes, I am still alive. Oh, parallel port scanners. Ugh. Well, Mike, if you come over, you can play around with the scanner as much as you'd like. I won't charge you for it. Many free scans. All right, let's zoom in on the text here. Well, it's okay. Now, I'm curious. Let's save this. Let's save this as 300 res. Oh, wait, I saved it as a pict. No. No, let's save it as a nice TIFF file here. I want to scan this in at 600. I think this is only a 300 dpi scanner, but I'm just curious what happens. What color iMac are you iBook are you looking for? Just the white ones, or if it's from '99, I'm assuming you mean the blueberry or the tangerine style ones, around those types. Those are nice models. That's the ones I got right here, and there's more over there. They did not make a grape-colored iBook. They made a blueberry. They made a tangerine. And they made later they made an indigo one, they made a key lime green one, and they made a graphite one. But it did not come in all the colors the iMacs did. So you're a bit limited there. Oh, nice. An iBook SE. Those are cool. That's like the one I have right here. So this gray one doesn't work, unfortunately. But, pretty cool. All right, so we'll see, Mike. I'm just curious about how it looks, because the text is a little pixelated here. I'm not going to touch anything. I'm just going to try and scan it again and see. So if I go to scan, again, that is not too bad. I don't know, but in the year 2000, we're all worried about the millennium. Y2K, baby. Here's a millennium clock. It would do a countdown. And then after the year 2000, it was just a normal clock. I'm going to put a battery back in here. That'd be fun to mess around with. All right, let's scan this in again. Now, I'm going to crop this a little closer because we don't need the whole thing there. I'm going to set this to 600 ppi, I suppose. I'll hit scan. Yeah, I was looking for that year 2000 clock. I guess we'll talk about it while this takes this time to scan. I was looking for this because when I did my 2000 live stream, New Year's live stream, I was going to mention this, but I guess I could use it as a prop in an upcoming video. So if you see it, well, look at this. That's weird. It's a very weird shape. It must have been expensive to mold this. Maybe there was like a little confetti thing or something you put on there. Huh. I wonder what type of batteries this takes, because it's not entirely... I mean, there are two screws, so I assume you take that out and you could replace the batteries, but I wonder what type of batteries this thing takes. If I had a small screwdriver here, I could probably take a look before this thing finishes scanning. But I do not, so I'll have to wait. I do have these two cool cell phones here. Hold on. Let me show you these cell phones. One's a Siemens and one is a Nokia. These are my grandparents' cell phones. So this is my grandmother's, this is my grandmother's cell phone, this is my grandfather's cell phone. I always thought it was strange because these were so tiny, and of course, you know, their vision probably wasn't the best. And these are so tiny. Look at look how tiny these little phones are. I mean, you can hold. My hands aren't that big, but like, geez, these little things. Yeah. So these, I think these are pretty neat. This is a Nokia. I don't know what the model number is on this one. And this is a Siemens one. It's just this little baby tiny phones. So, yeah, this is a Siemens M56, whatever that is. It's a tiny little thing here. And there's a Nokia. I mean, these need a charging. I don't know if I have the charger for the Siemens. This probably just takes a standard Nokia charger there. But, yeah. No, Greg, it is working, I'll have you know. So, bleh, to you. We got it working. We just need the right software, that's all. we're just scanning at 600 DPI and pushing this to the limits, man. So. We're almost done scanning. Your video is already over. Okay, I will watch it after this, promise. Sorry, I missed it. All right, our massive scan is done. Listen to that hard drive whirl. Oh boy. All right, so first, let me save this before anything bad happens. Save this as a TIFF here. You used to have a Macintosh SE, you took it apart, and you couldn't put it back together. Well, it only goes back together one way, but listen, we've all been there. We've all messed around with things without the manual, without any instructions, and we've screwed something up, so don't feel too bad. All right, so we're saving the uncompressed 600 ppi image here. It looks a little sharper, but this may be like software enhancing type stuff. Although the scanner is named a 600, I would not be surprised if this was a 300 DPI model. I think that's what it is. Let's wait for this just to finish saving here. Oh man, those are nice machines, a 2C and a 2GS. All right, any day now. Yeah, the Color One 1200 had a resolution of 600 by 1200 DPI. I'm just reading Wikipedia. It says DPI. I'm not trying to get into an argument here. Let's see. It doesn't really say anything about the 600 model. Oh, we do have a service manual for the 1200, though. Not for the, let's see if there's one for the 600. Probably not. I would assume they're very similar models, but let's see. Yes, there is a manual for this. We have a service manual for this scanner. How about that? All right, so the manual says this is a 300 by 600 DPI scanner, if it wants to focus there. So the resolution is 300. Sounds like it. So yeah, that's good to know. Ooh, we have an optional automatic document feeder for this model. That looks pretty cool. I wish I had that. That'd be neat. Let's see. Features of the scanner: 300 by 600 DPI optical, 2400 by 2400 DPI interpolated, resolution for improved OCR, which is optical character recognition, 27-bit scanning depth color, recognizes up to 134 million colors, support for PICT, TIFF, JPEG, EPS, BMP, and Photoshop compatible. Dispatcher software integrates with your popular applications and provides tools to scan and edit. Small desktop footprint. Optional 20 sheet capacity automatic document feeder. Pretty cool. All right, so here's our image. I'm going to close it for a second because I want to see how large it was. So we have two images saved on our desktop. We have the 600 and the 300. So the 300 was only a few megs. Let's see. Yeah, that's must have been what the report was. I thought it was for transparencies, but that might have only been for the 1200. But yeah, it would make sense if that was for that. I'm just scrolling down in that manual here. I'm just seeing if there are any other accessories. Probably not, but just curious. Just curious. No, don't see anything else. That must be what that is for. SCSI switch. Oh, there is a termination on and off thing. Okay, so you see that dial on the back. Well, see the O and the I? Yeah, that's termination on and off. How about that? Sorry, Bruce. Oh, thank you, Greg. Eep! Great video, Steve. Don't forget to check out mine. I shall. Greg's letting the dogs out. Woo, 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 woo. Oh, that's terrible. That's absolutely horrible. Oh, boy. Printed on the image writer, too. Oh, boy. Yeah, that we'd be waiting a long time for that. That would be awful. The laser writer probably would catch on fire. Yes, especially how mine is. Anyway, let's see. Thank you very much, Greg, for the super chat. That's very kind of you. Eep! All right, so the 300 res document was 9.6 megs, and the 600 was a whopping 25 megabytes. So what I want to do is open one. We'll compare how a piece of text looks, and then we'll see if thanks, Greg. And then we'll see how the 600 one fares, even though it's not really an optical, scan there. Well, it's not as you know what I mean. All right, so here's the 300 one that's open. I'm going to scan in here to see these words here. So this was like for this was an iOmega flyer here. Stephen Hunter Flick, sound designer. Okay, well that text is fairly readable here, but if I zoom in, there's some pixelization there. It's probably hard for you to see on camera, but it is. Let me see if this allows me to open up two documents at once. I may cause this little machine to catch on fire if I do, but let's try it anyway. So. Opening image. Oh boy. Well, let's see. I'm curious. I'm never, again, I never used this before. It's probably doing some, fancy work behind the scenes to try and make this image look a bit sharper if it was scanned at 600 versus 300. We shall see. 10 minutes to print a PageMaker document on an SE with local talk. Oh, Mike, you are tempting me to bring out one of my laser writers. Not now. God, no. Another stream. I have a very old one. I don't know if it even works, though. I wonder if they still make toner for that. Okay. It doesn't look too bad. I mean, it's very similar. This is softer. Yeah, let's see if I can get both of these on the screen at the same time. It's gonna be a bit of a challenge. So we drag on this side here. Okay. Close that. Oops. I just want to get to the right point. See where this says sound. So I want to get to that. You know what? This actually looks better. All right, so let's bring you closer. You could probably sort of see it. But look at that. So The left is very sharp and pixelated. The right, although there's not too much more image detail, it is, it is a little bit better. I'd prefer the one on the right any day. You can actually see, the edges of the pixels. Now, again, this is likely software trickery. This is nothing, optical that's being done to this. But this is much better than I would have expected. Exactly, Steven. Yep. So, yeah, I mean, not the best, not the worst. Yeah, 4:1 versus 8:1 magnification. So, I mean, it's here. I could use the cursor here because, again, one's at 300, the other's at 600. So, yeah, that's not too bad. Not too bad at all. So, I don't know if it would be worth. Yeah, so this is a 8:1, and this is 4:1. So, I don't know if it would be worth scanning something in at such a high resolution because it's such a larger file size for such a slight improvement. But I guess if you had the need to do it, you could do it. Hey, Aaron, don't worry about that. We've all been busy. Things have been crazy lately. No worries, man. No worries. Yeah, so that's pretty neat. That's pretty neat. Oh, Quadros, nice. All right, so yeah, that's I can't zoom in any further, so that's the biggest that'll go. But yeah, if I'm zoomed out, you don't really see a difference at all. So, yeah, so that's the Apple One scanner. I'm glad I was able to play around with it today. It was really neat. Yeah, so we're just about at the 3-hour mark. I kind of run out of things that I planned to show you today. Ooh, a Quadro 800 with a PowerPC upgrade card. Very nice, sir. Very nice indeed. So yeah, we had some fun playing around today with this Power Mac, which surprisingly worked. That was a nice little surprise there. You guys are talking about your first computers, it seems. Very cool. Remember using a Performa 6200 CD, a Mac SE, an Orange iMac, Power Mac 7100. Yep, cool. PowerBook 540C, a Radius clone. Nice. Those are really cool. Wish I had one. Mike's first Mac was a 512K Macintosh with dual floppy drive, 800K, and an image writer. Very cool. And we're talking about Quadras. Very cool. Started in '84 with a Macintosh 128K. Very cool. Scarlet Swordfish said the Performa 600 was his family's first Macintosh. Very, very cool. My first Macintosh was a Macintosh 2 CX, which is still working. Well, partially. I have to recap it. Does this Power Mac support display geometry and settings in system software? I don't believe it does in System 7.6. Let's see. I don't know. That's a good question. Doesn't look like it does. Does not look like it does. We have colors. We have options. Nah, this is a little too old for that. There are knobs on the back to adjust those, so this is not electronically done. Let's see. Oh, nice. Yeah, that's the Classic 2 is a bit of an improvement over the Classic. 2SI. Nice, nice, Dana. Very cool. The Apple IIe and the Apple IIc. Mike just got a pretty cool machine. I won't tell you what it is because he'll probably want to reveal it in the video. So, but pretty cool. All right, so I'm going to eject this legacy CD because I think the reason I lose these all the time, I leave them in the darn CD drive and then I forget that it's there. So we're going to take that out. I didn't say what it was, Mike. I just said you had a cool machine. It could be hundreds of different machines. Mine was an iMac aluminum unibody at school. Mine was a 2010 polycarbonate was my first Mac. Cool. All right, so last booted May 22nd, 2016. Well, that's a nice historical thing, so I'm just going to say recently booted April 7th, 2020. And it just dawned on me that that PRAM battery is dead, and this machine thinks it's 1956. Oh, PRAM batteries. And I'm going to put in our little images there. And we're going to shut our little machine down for the day. I'm very, very satisfied that this was working. Yes, Nami, I will try. And you be sure to reset your Google password, because I don't know who it was. Somebody was making an awful lot of comments. Is there any questions or anything before we wrap up here? We had a lot of fun today. I hope you did. I had a lot of fun. Not in any rush, just saying. You know, I'm done messing with the scanner for now. I am turning off the machine here. I'm unplugging the power cable so I don't trip over it later. Just tuning at the end. I'll catch the replay. Oh, no worries, Demir. That's the beauty of a live stream. They're recorded, so you can always skim through them later on or watch them afterwards, which is cool. Don't worry, Demir. No worries at all. Mike says the best MacBook ever was the 2008 aluminum unibody. I like those a lot. Thank you for mine, by the way. Oh, thank you, Scarlet Swordfish. Very nice. You know, these keyboards aren't too bad. They're all right. They're not the best. There's an Apple keyboard too. I see some without the Apple logo, but I don't know if they just popped. It doesn't look like one popped off of there, but I think as a cost-saving measure, they kind of just removed them. But yeah, when will my next stream be? I don't know. Not tomorrow, probably, because I have a lot of work piled up for tomorrow. Maybe Friday or something like that. Maybe Friday or the weekend. We'll see. I never really plan these things out, so not that far in advance. But Demir says he has a 5500 225 that I just love. Beautiful machines. Really cool. Yeah, this is a 5200 75 LC. I have a 5400 on the shelf, apparently. I don't know if it works. Maybe we'll play around with that later on. Broken JPEG says the first computer I used is an iMac from 2008, running 10.12. They were slow. Those are not bad, but running 10.12 on an iMac from 2008 with probably the standard memory in there and probably an old hard drive, yeah, that's going to be slow. But honestly, you put an SSD in there, you upgrade the memory, that machine's going to be pretty good. Yeah, me too, Mike. Me too. The first computer I used was not the 2C, it might have been the 2CX, but I have a memory of using an older computer around kindergarten. It was like an 8-bit machine. I don't know why we had it. I think it was being borrowed from the school for a project or something. I don't know what it was, but it was we had to use a TV with it. It was a very, very old thing. Commodore 64, nice. Can you connect an older IBM ThinkPad to a Performa? Not really. I mean, you might be able to create an AppleTalk network with an add-on card. If you want to network them, there are probably adapters for it. But if you had Ethernet on both of them, yes, you can make a network. I don't know what you're trying to do, though. If you're trying to transfer something over a floppy, that might be the best thing, actually. Timex Sinclair 1000. Or as they say overseas, the Sinclair ZX81. 1K of RAM. Is Santi a local talk to Ethernet bridge? I have one of those. They're pretty neat. They're pretty neat. I showed one off in my iMac video. In fact, I can get the URL for that. Let me do that. I did a video on the iMac's USB connectors and adapters and stuff. I'm going to paste that into the chat now. And that is Santi Local Talk to Ethernet Bridge is featured in there. And I talk about it a little bit. So feel free to click on that if you want. If you haven't seen that video already, I highly recommend it. It's one of the videos I'm most proud of. That was a sequel to another video I'm very proud of they did of the iMac. So, what OS is the Power Mac running behind you? I got mine on 9. I think I should downgrade. Yeah, it depends on how much memory you have in there. This is running 7.6, and it ran it pretty darn well. It started up very quickly. Yeah. Yeah, you could burn files on the ThinkPad on a CD. You might want to burn them at a slower speed, because sometimes the older Macs have trouble reading things that are burned at a higher rate. I think that's mostly due to the model of the CD-ROM drive, though. I burned this CD at 24x, the one I was putting here, and it worked fine. But, hey, what'd you miss? Well, we played around with an Apple I scanner. We figured out this 5200 worked. You can rewind and watch the rest. Yeah, 7.6 is very good. Very good. Yeah, the Performa will not read CDs if they're in a format that the Macintosh can't read them. If you have the OS updated enough, it should be able to read PC disks as long as there's an extension in the system folder. Just do some Googling. You'll be able to find out through some Facebook groups or whatever. Low End Mac is a good one. That's Low End Mac, END. Just look around. You'll see some. There are great resources online, to learn some of this stuff. I managed to get Panther on the Rev A iMac. Needs the VRAM upgrade badly. Oh, you're just torturing that poor thing, aren't you? Oh boy. Never use anything below 9.1 because it doesn't have. I don't have any hardware that'll go older. Okay, understand that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. 7.1. Even the CD-ROMs, Mike. My memory of it is hazy. I'm not sure, but. So I know CDs use that. Some of those use like the ISO format. So, I mean, it depends on how you're burning the disk too. So, most CD burning programs will give you an option. Yes, the Low End Mac website is great. I love that site. Used to browse Low End Mac on my 1400C PowerBook. Very cool. Very, very cool. Oh, cool. I'll have to try that out, Mike. I really haven't played around with the older version System 7 with a CD-ROM drive connected. So, PowerBook 100 runs and no hard drive. Yeah, it's interesting. Remember when 4K memory was a lot of memory? It's a lot of memory. Yeah. All right. So, any other questions or anything before we wrap up here? We'll be going for 3 hours here. And, we've got 18 people watching. Oh, now 17. So I jinxed it. But any other questions? We had fun with this little Mac here. Just notice there's a little microphone up here. I have that 5400. Maybe we'll play around with that another day. But oh yeah, making macOS install media on Windows is not too much fun. Do not recommend that. No, thank you. No, thank you at all. Yeah, any other questions? You want to pop it in the chat? I'll be happy to read it. What was the scanning software called again? Good question. So the scanning software for this color scanner was OneScan Dispatcher. The OneScan software did not work with this. In fact, it said it couldn't find the scanner, when in fact the scanner was connected. Thankfully, System Profiler saw it. So I used the OneScanner Dispatcher. That was the software that worked for this. Oh, thank you, Stephen. Appreciate it. Yes, the hard drive may be dead inside of that. What Mike is saying is very accurate. Where did you get the software? There's an image on Macintosh Garden called Apple Legacy. So I burned this CD, and that has a bunch of Apple system software like the Mac OS and stuff. But it also has pretty much every software, probably before 94, 95, that they released for maybe 96, 97, somewhere in that they released for any of their devices. Printers, scanners, Newtons, all that stuff has all the drivers on it. Very, very handy to have. How are your bunnies? They're good. They were making some noise earlier. They're both hanging out. One's eating, one's resting, the other one's resting. I'm missing a cable for the hard drive. Oh, that'll do it. Oh, thanks, Alex. Appreciate it. Yeah, the Santi thing is pretty cool. In my experience, it works pretty well. It doesn't even need any software. It just kind of works. Oh, IMG Burn is great. IMG Burn is probably one of the best free image burning, CD burning utility for that I've ever used, actually cross-platform. IMG Burn is excellent. Geez, I've been using that for over 10 years now. That's an excellent piece of software. It's for Windows only, I think. I don't know if it's for anything else. But uh-oh, Greg's back. Everybody hide. Nobody here? What's my favorite Mac? Yeah, I get asked that question a lot. I usually have to split it up. My favorite desktop would probably, let's say my favorite pre-G3 desktop, that would probably be, geez, that's a good question. I'm trying to split them up into eras, but my favorite Power Mac would be a G3 Mini Tower. That's my favorite Power Mac tower. My favorite laptop, if it's, I'd probably have to say the Duo 270C, if it's a pre-Power PC. And of course, post-Power, Power PC laptop, I'd probably say my lime green clamshell iBook, which I have here. I absolutely love this little guy. It's been through a lot. It's missing part of the leaf. It is beautiful though. Love this thing. So that would be my favorite laptop. My favorite modern desktop would have to be my 2012 Mac Pro. Love that thing. It's a great machine. And a modern laptop. I don't really have modern laptops. My work laptop isn't too bad. It's a 2015 Retina 15-inch MacBook Pro. I'm not saying it's the best, but it's decent. It works fine for me. I don't really have a problem with it. He has come to steal your Xer. Yeah, you should burn CDs at a slower speed. That always helps. The 540C is nice. The only reason I didn't mention that is I like the whole docking capability of the Duo 270C. I do have a 540C. It's probably faster than the Duo, but it has more ports built in. So speaking of a functionality standpoint, yeah, the 540C is a much better machine. Yes, the 540C I believe was an active matrix screen, and the 520C was a passive matrix screen, if memory serves. PowerBook 140, nice. Yeah, very magical. This is true. Sadly it bit to dust. What type of iBook did you have? Was it a clamshell one? Yeah, I'm just looking at the floor here. We have more Macs that I have to test here. Here's if the tripod will go down here. There we go. We have 2 eMacs. There's one here, and there's one here that's covered in dust. This one I did not turn on yet. No idea what's up with it. We have a old Apple CRT display there. We have some G4s with Mac Pro. A lot of stuff to test. Yes, eMacs. I haven't plugged that in yet. That'll be for another live stream. Sure, we'll spend 3 hours messing with the darn thing. So Dana has a working PowerBook 3400C. You probably missed the beginning of my video. Down here, I have a 3400C, but unfortunately it doesn't work. Maybe it's a PRAM battery. I don't know. I plugged it in, just doesn't turn on. So I started collecting Macs well over 20 years ago. So nobody wanted them at the time. I got them for a steal. A lot of these machines that I've collected over the years. I've started to get some frequently, here and there, when there's a good deal or somebody has one and they want to give it to me. But, I mean, like these iMacs here, Mike gave me 2 of them. He gave me the orange one, he gave me the lime one, he gave me another lime one, and he gave me another indigo one that's for parts. It's actually over here. But yeah, the majority of my machines I've gotten years and years ago. They were dirt cheap. Nobody wanted them. So it was very, very economical for me to collect them. So I'm not one of these people that spends hundreds of dollars on these old machines. It's not worth it. They're always going to need fixing. You're always going to have to put in time and money. It's just not worth it to me. So it's just something I sort of balk at when I see people selling things for crazy prices. So yeah, that's where I got most of my machines. I have a little tour video on my Patreon account that goes into a little more detail. But yeah, what Mike is saying is true. Just do a search on Facebook Marketplace, let go. Just see what's out there. You never know. My oldest Mac is a Pismo G3. Those are very nice models. Oh, yeah, maybe the battery did explode in mine. Who knows? No worries, Demir. Yes, stay safe and healthy, everyone. Take care. Yeah, so any other questions? Otherwise, I'm going to call it a night here. But I appreciate all the questions. It's always nice to talk to fellow like-minded Mac heads. PowerBook 160 and 165. Ooh, very nice, Mike. I am jealous. Bring it over. We'll have it print to an image writer. What do you expect, Jay? What do I think about the new Mac Pro? It's really cool. I can't afford one, but it's really cool. That really sums it up. My city has quite a bit of Apple collectors. Oh, that's cool. I mean, it could be bad though, because you have people sell things at a high price and goes crazy. But yeah, both needs a capture space in the screen, but they both work. Hard drive store. Oh, that's impressive, Mike. I think this actually does. The remote does have an on-off button, so I believe it does support being turned on. I think the only thing is you can't really turn it off with the, or maybe you can. I remember messing around with something. You could work it pretty well with the remote, but I remember when I was a kid using this, there was a trick. Either you could turn it on, but you couldn't auto launch the TV software, or you had to. I think maybe it was like you had to go into full screen mode with the mouse, like you couldn't use the remote. I have the remote somewhere, so we'll play around with it. I want to play around. Now that I know this works, I'm gonna play around with the TV tuner and the AV card because I love that stuff. That's gonna be fun. That'll be fun. We're waiting you on Discord for the after party. Oh boy. Oh boy. Do you know how to fix the hinges on the 170? It's really stiff. I know it sounds like a joke, but very carefully. I don't have any experience directly with that model. Maybe somebody in the chat will. Yeah, Mike is saying they are corroding most likely. You might be able to find a replacement for them. Usually similar models, they might use the same ones. So, yeah. Okay, any other questions or anything? Feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, we'll wrap up here. And I've had fun today, so thank you for joining me messing around with these old machines. Again, very surprised and happy to see that this Mac works well. There was no real data on there, so I don't have to really archive it or anything. But yeah, cool. Well, I guess that's a bit of it. I hope everybody is staying safe and healthy out there. If you're bored, feel free to watch some of my older live streams. That'll keep you company. Like I said, Nami, I've been collecting for these machines for past 15, 20 plus years. A lot of these I got very cheap, so I don't spend a lot on these. It's not worth it to me to spend a lot on them because you're going to put a lot of time and energy trying to fix them. So, yeah. Click on Mike's Mac Shack little icon there, Nami, and you'll see his YouTube channel. Probably get in touch through him there or via Facebook. But yeah, I guess that's about it, guys. I'll probably do another live stream, let's say Thursday or Friday, maybe over the weekend or something like that. I am trying to work on some more of my scripted videos. So I have a few, especially the clone video, Grudy, that I'm trying to finish, so I want to do that and try and focus on that. Yeah, work has been work, so I've been getting busy with that stuff. But yeah, and go watch Greg's video. I'll be if I'm not on Discord, I'll be watching that. So how about that? I guess that's about it. And we have Mac Yak on Thursday. I can't stream on Thursday because we have Mac Yak on Thursday. But tune into the Mac Yak podcast on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. It's a podcast that we run. Jay, Greg, why don't you throw the link in the chat if you'd like. Don't forget the defensive driving cars. Yeah, you remember to reset your password. Be careful with that, buddy. And go to Jay's channel too if you want to see someone clean a fuck mouse for 45 minutes. He cleans it good. I will say this: Jay cleans a puck mouse like nobody else can. Oh man, oh man. I'm poking fun. I watched Jay's whole video. So how about that? I watched his whole video. Yeah. So the link that that Greg put in there is for Mac84. That's our podcast that we do every Thursday. The puck mouse. Yeah, the only shame with the puck mouse is you got to get off that rubber coating. That sort of gives it a bit of a different feel. But all right, we're ending the stream because we're getting silly now. But I appreciate everybody watching. Glad we got these things to work. Thanks for sticking through. And apologies to Greg for running long and stealing some of his viewers. Apologies, sir. But it's been fun. I hope to catch you around next stream. And yeah, stay safe, everyone. Take care and have a good night.